A new Superman trailer. Where the hell did that come from? And oh my goodness, don't say that Superman shouldn't be funny. The internet will try to light you on fire. We have that going on. We've got, man, so many different stories that we were going to just discuss before the Superman trailer dropped. But we'll get into all the has-beens, has-nots, has-will-be, what's going on, all that stuff. Is that a thing? Could be today. Well, we're doing all that and more, and I'm excited because I am no longer the coolest Kris with a K on the show. Kris Carr is joining this show officially on Wednesdays. She's here today for her first one, official crew member, Kris Carr. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. Here we go. Welcome back, one and all, to the show here, Kristian Harloff Show on a Wednesday. And joining me on Wednesday, Kris Carr is here. Hello, Kris.
Hey,
how are you? Oh, there we go.
Okay. Hi, everyone. How are you?
Nice to see you.
It's so good to see you. It's been a minute.
It has been. We were supposed to do this last week, but it was but I had to move things around. We got a lot of kind of different things going on the channel right now, but we're glad to have you on the show. And what a great show to start with here today with the Superman thing dropping, huh?
Heck yeah. Oh my gosh, there's so much to talk about.
It's a lot. And I told you before we started filming that Kris is very aware of the competition. She knows this is her first show. So let's see if we can get Kris Carr. Right now, 78 is what Roca has. Let's see if we can get Kris Carr in our first show to get over the 78. We shall see. But what we're going to talk about here, we're going to kind of give a breakdown of the Superman trailer itself, this new one that hit. And I don't know, this kind of came out of nowhere today, Kris. I was looking at, where the hell is this stupid thing? Sorry, I'm trying to do, there it is. That's the one I want. So I don't know about you, but did you know this thing was coming?
Absolutely not. I had no idea. What a welcome surprise, though.
Yeah, it wasn't even like labeled Superman trailer. It was just like Superman tickets are on sale now. So the trailer drops, and as we are going to play a little bit more of it too, you see that the big, huge building already. And right away, you know that Superman is going to be catching this thing, right? But it's gorgeous looking. It really is gorgeous. And this will probably happen kind of earlier on, I would assume, because, you know, a lot of the traditional Superman have that big, huge thing happen in the beginning where you got to go, where is he? And then he comes in and he saves the day, and it'll be this massive thing. I would assume that's what's going to go on. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. You have to do that recall back to the Action Comics cover where he's holding the car. You know, I feel like that's just so part of the zeitgeist and part of who Superman is. You have to establish he's here to save the day, and he's always going to be able to be the person who can catch the biggest stuff, handle the biggest problem.
How cool is that shot? You know, right? Her looking over and seeing him kind of catch it. It's pretty great. It's so funny because we'll discuss it afterwards. For the most part, I really love this trailer. I said like one or two things. Here's a guy who's never read a comic before. And it's like, hey, assholes, you can look at a thing and say, hey, that's not necessarily for me, but for me, for you, you might like it. And I'll tell you what it was, that there were two things for me that I was like, I don't know, I'm nervous about it, but we'll see how it comes out. Someone goes, take it from a Snyder, bro. I'm like, what are you talking about? This is my most anticipated movie, you morons. So again, him looking over and understanding. I love the kind of human side we're getting of Superman. There's some really gorgeous shots, man. I mean, look at all of that in the way that when Lex's stuff lands, and that's what I caught from this trailer, Kris, and I wonder if you did too, is the emphasis on Lex Luthor here.
Oh, he's absolutely the champion of this entire trailer. It's all about him as far as I'm concerned. Right. And as somebody who, I'm a comics fan, obviously. I enjoy all the movies and everything. My like deep dive Superman love is the Superman animated series. And this trailer feels very much akin to that. It feels like a 90s kind of vibe of how we have this very delicious, cruel villain. And Nicholas Hoult chews everything so well in this.
I agree with you. And I think that the other thing is that I noticed is like where you had Donner's Superman was playing in the more kind of realism as well as Snyder's too, right? Like kind of a little more, they're trying to get more that realistic feel to it. This one is definitely playing in the comic book world. I mean, you can feel it. This is the comic book version of Superman, and old school, as you were mentioning, some of the old school stuff that we're seeing in it, and then the Action Comic stuff, and then the modern day stuff, as mentioned, to who the writer is in general, with King coming on board to do this. So this, to me, I agree with you. Lex Luthor really is the one that you're like, okay, he is going to be a menace. Now, this was the part of the trailer, the first part, when I went, oh, why'd you show that? Because you have this part where this is great. You have the Fortress of Solitude. They go in right now, and they're gonna wreck shop here, obviously. And in doing so, when they wreck shop, they take out the robots. Now, we saw the scene with the robots that in that one scene, the long scene that they showed, and the robots are taking care of them, and they even showed it later on in this trailer. And then we also saw it, I think, in the first trailer, where Superman holding one of the robots. It looks like the aftermath of this. So I was like, oh, why'd you show that? Why'd you show me how they got wrecked? Unless this happens first, but I'm pretty sure they showed me what happened.
I agree. I feel that. And I feel like editors these days too for trailers, trailer editing is such an art form because how do you get people excited? How do you tell them enough of the plot without giving it all away, but showing enough to get people pumped about actually going? Particularly for something like this, where you're spending, $30 to go see this movie early potentially,
Right.
outside of your movie subscription. But man, yeah, this was the one moment where I had that too of, well, that's I guess where I can go to the bathroom. That's my
I don't want to know. I don't want to know what happens. So he comes in, and then who's strong enough to do that, right? Like throwing him down there and putting him on the floor, which is pretty great. And he talks about how he wants him hurt, he wants him in trouble. He's the pure hatred for Superman. Glimpses of the Daily Planet. This is going to be, to me, really as important as Lex Luthor obviously is. This is the whole. You're either in or you're out for the relationship between these two. It's so important.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah, they're legacy characters.
They are, and you got to have
on board for that.
You got to have that chemistry. You got to have that chemistry. You got to care. It's so funny. So, oh my God, I'm really hoping. So everybody who's joining in, please, thank you. If you did join in from the actual trailer reaction coming in here, if I got to hear one more person going, Superman can tell jokes. Superman can tell jokes. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. It's a matter of when is he saying them? When is he saying the jokes? When are you going to have the jokes? Are you going to be in the middle of a fight, and does it seem realistic? He doesn't have to be total stoic. That's what people thought. Oh, you just want him to be sad, Superman? No, I just want to make sure that when you're doing it, it's not overpowering the scenes. But we're not there yet. So let's get to the next one. And I love the fact, like, when Lex brought that up about his family who raised him, all that, and you get to see James Gunn is very good at locking you in with emotion. As much as he relies on humor, he's very good at having you emotionally connect to the characters. And it looks like that's what he's trying to do here.
Absolutely. He was so smart too to have this happen in this trailer after the previous one allowed us to fall in love with the Kents, from I'm going to grab your boots to Pa Kent telling Superman how he has to be the person he wants to be, the change he wants to see in this world. They're such wholesome, salt of the earth people. And now we see this bald man threatening his family. You're already invested, even if you're not a Superman fan.
100%, because it's that layer. And right now there's a good, to me, in the trailer, there looks like there's a pretty good balance, right? It's okay to have concerns about maybe there won't be, but right now I think the balance is there and I'm excited to see what's going to happen here, because he's laying down, like, clearly it looks like that shot that we just saw with him laying on the bed, that's after Krypto brings him back.
Yeah.
Which is great. And look, this shot of Lex Luthor is just out of control good.
I love it. Well, Nicholas Hoult is so good too. I'm so glad we have just such a good actor as Lex.
Yes. And I think he's going to steal the show. I really do. He's phenomenal in it. And you look, this is the kind of misdirect I'm looking forward to, because I think all of this, like I just said, I think this already happened, and that's why he's laying on the bed and doing all that. And you have this whole scene with him, kind of that wheezing is still the most powerful, that whole thing. And this is where we just discussed. I don't like the fact that we know that they eat it, these robots.
There could be more.
Yeah.
Maybe Superman just has a buttload of robots.
That's also true. I mean, look, the other day I watched. Yeah, it's true. I watched the Wicked 2 trailer. When I watched that trailer, I haven't seen the musical, so I don't know what's coming. And I said, oh man, I hope they just didn't give away a bunch of stuff in the trailer. And the amount of people that said it, no, it didn't spoil it. You're okay. Don't worry about it. I was like, okay, maybe this is the same thing.
That's my hope, right? Is that they're just giving us some cool actiony bits, some nice kind of like centerpieces to focus on. Yeah. And it's all kind of a big misdirection, so that the actual meat and potatoes of the movie is still in there and we haven't had it all just thrown at us already.
It does look, I mean, you look at everything so far that we've just looked at. I mean, the movie looks gorgeous.
Oh, absolutely. The color grading, it's so comic booky. It's stunning.
Yeah. It looks really good. So I like that they're using the kind of the old school Richard Donner font there. This is what we saw, obviously, in that scene with the robots kind of helping him out. And this is what I meant by the comic book stuff, right? This is about as comic book as you get. He's fighting big kaijus in the middle of Metropolis, and he's flying around. And I love that the thing is hitting him with fire, but it's Superman, so he's flying right through it. It's great. Mm-hmm. It's great. Yeah, and so this whole battle, everything that's going on here, and he's just pissed off, and then the cat and mouse tit for tat. Luther, and then this thing here. So this is the okay. So this is the part for me. There are two parts. I don't know. Crypto coming in. I'm not on board with the crypto thing yet. I could be. I need context. I have to find. I know. I understand everybody else is, and I'm not telling him. Oh, it looks so stupid. I'm just not on board with it yet. I could be when
That's fair.
See him getting involved here. Fine. What I didn't like was not the crypto part of it. It's this. Come on. What are we doing with the slow motion and the teeth? What are we doing?
It takes me out because it hits the lens. Don't let me know that I'm part of a movie.
It's a gimmick. It's a gimmick. And it's like, there's no need for that. I get the crypto coming in to fight and working with them, even though I get it. That's great. People are going to lose their minds when they see it's like Yoda with the lightsabers in the second. They're going to lose their minds. It's going to be a big moment. But you take away from the moment when it's like, look at this cool thing. He knocked his teeth out. Now it hits the camera. It's like unnecessary. Let's not worry about it. Yeah. The style. It's like, I don't know. Some people dig it. So some people, like in the comments, some people like the fact that he knocked his teeth out, but they don't like the fact that it hit the camera. Right.
Yeah.
So that's whatever. I just hope the style of their substance doesn't happen. Doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. Okay. So this is an example of what I was going to say with people who aren't paying attention to anything. I think Guy Gardner is going to be the way you get a lot of the humor out in this movie. You can put a lot, and there's going to be humor with crypto also, but I don't think, like, should Guy Gardner be serious? No, he should be ridiculous. That haircut alone tells you that he's ridiculous.
He got hit by a bus and has a frontal lobe injury. He says whatever he wants the minute he wants to. You know? And Nathan Fillion's even talked about this, of modeling his character after Sophia from the Golden Girls. He's going to be our fun, say anything you want to character.
Yes, and let him be that device. Let him be the one who's maybe during a battle, he's the one kind of cracking jokes, right? So this is I love this whole thing in the baseball stadium, them fight here, the throw. And again, you see this whole moment where what's she driving right there? What is that?
That part I was like, when did Lois get this? How far along is she in her own journey with Superman here that she's like, oh yeah, I'll just pilot this spaceship. I got it.
It seems like, and clearly that's going to be towards the end of the movie, which we would assume. Love the fact that he's wrecking shop with that. He's get this scene I think is gonna be pretty powerful with the kids. And I loved what Lex said there, where he's just like, fine, they want to go with him, then the hell with them. They'll let them die too. Whatever it is that he actually says, but that's the gist of it. And again, it's really going to be about the two of them just going after it the whole entire time.
100%. And that's when I think we have some of the best stories, is when we see this idea of just pure corrupt evil versus someone who is constantly trying to find the good in everyone. Because he even tries to do it throughout the comic books, throughout the shows and the movies. He constantly tries to find the good in Lex too. And every now and then he can't even overcome it. And I love that we're seeing a Lex who's already stepping up to the plate with that kind of just cruelty.
So far gone into evil. Yeah, I love it. We need that. And then I still love this shot. so much. Like that's
Mhm.
that's an example. That's slow motion style, and like sometimes I can't stand slow motion. I'm like, why are they doing it in the middle? Slow motion for this right now, I think works wonderfully to show the impact, what he does, how devastating it is. There are times that slow motion can really, really work, and I think it works wonderfully here, as opposed to teeth hitting a camera, which I don't think is necessary. This does. This shows you this is intense right now, and the slow mo and all that, and seeing every little detail of everything going around intensifies that.
Absolutely. It doesn't disrupt the reality of what you're consuming, right?
Yeah.
It's not a moment of, oh, yep, I'm watching a movie and that's just hit the screen and I'm part of the audience watching this. This is a slow down moment of he moves so quickly that
Right.
in his own mind, he would be able to be doing this slowly. We see the care and tucking her head and all the other things he's doing to make sure she's safe. This is a
Yeah,
great moment. This is a beautiful shot.
great moment, and I got so much from Corn Sweat in this trailer that I didn't get in the other ones too, even though we had that moment obviously. But okay, so this is the part that everyone got mad at me about. So Mr. Terrific goes, come on, let's go, and I'll turn it up here. It might be echoed for people, but
Messing around. I'm not messing around. I'm doing important stuff.
I don't love it. I don't love it. It's like, oh, you need him to be serious all the time. I mean, look, again, I need context inside of the movie, and maybe he's just like, what are you talking about? I'm out here, I'm trying to beat the piss out of people breaking my chops, I'm laying down. I understand the gist of it. I get what they're going for. At that moment, though, I'm like, okay, is he just he's fine? He's just gonna kind of joke it off. Is he cracking these types of jokes? People are like, Superman is funny. He was funny in the Donner movies. Yes, he cracks little quips here and there. I get it. The question is, when is he telling the jokes? How serious of the moment? I haven't seen the movie. This could fit very well into the vibe of it the whole time. I just get nervous because James Gunn likes to do a lot of comedy stuff, and sometimes I'm like, okay, could you have just sat in that emotion for a second and not had a joke? I don't need a full serious Superman. We had that already. I like the fact that we're getting a little bit more humor and jokes. And I know that Superman jokes. I get it. You don't have to write it in every other comment. I understand it. But what I'm saying is that if you take it away from an emotional moment, it could be a problem. I don't know if that's the case here, but that is my concern.
Wow, the internet's really coming after you, man.
They're
like, whoa.
Did you saw my trailer reaction?
Yeah.
It's like every
I
other
do find
comment.
this charming. I find this to be a charming little moment. But I'm with
Most
you, and I
people
totally
did.
understand that. Like,
Yeah.
if it's totally like ruins the moment of the intensity of the attack or the emotional build that's happening, I'm hoping it's a great moment of levity, because I am liking that we're getting a Superman with an actual personality. So I'm
Agreed.
hoping that's more where we're leaning.
I couldn't agree with you more, and I think that's why, again, when in a 6-minute reaction, I don't have enough time to really go over all my thoughts, but I couldn't agree. That's the ironic part of it. I agreed with most of the comments that were in that trailer reaction of like, well, we don't need a full-on Superman. He should be able to lighthearted. He should have a personality. I agree with all of it. I'm telling you that it just depends on when he is doing it. If I have to see the movie in the same way with Crypto. There's that scene. I didn't love the him hopping on Superman in that moment where he's like, when he hits that ground and he's wheezing, you're like, oh man, you're like so locked into this emotion, and then that emotion is gone because you have this goofy dog who's jumping on his head. You're like, oh, aren't you a dog lover? Yeah, I have a dog, and my dog probably would do something like that. Doesn't mean that, and I'm not Clark though. Clark's probably like, get the hell out of here and bring me home. But I'm not Clark. You're not asking me to be in pain. You're asking me to go, oh, that's funny. He's jumping on his head. And so I need to see more context with Crypto, because I'm like, okay, this dog's just a complete spaz and he needs him at this point. Does it fit in the layer of the movie? And I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, I can understand that. I am also incredibly biased towards Crypto because he looks so much like my dog. And so every time he comes on screen, I'm just like, that's the goodest boy in the world, and he's going to save all of us, and he's never done anything wrong. I'd give him my wallet. I love him. But
yeah,
I can understand. I think it's a fair criticism to go, if this disrupts the flow of everything, if it's supposed to give me more yucks than like actually be invested in an emotional moment, then yeah. I don't want it to take a turn like, the Thor movies, right? Balanced humor and action for a really long time. And then for me, Love and Thunder was way too much of that. Let's really lean into comedy and
Oh, God,
jokes
it
and
was Saturday
slapstick.
Night Live. Saturday Night
Yeah.
Live. I can't. I know you can't do. And Guardians 2 to me was. I mean, I've softened on Guardians 2, as I've said many times over, especially after the last rewatch I did of it. But I still feel the same way. I feel like there's way too many jokes and too many people have jokes. The emotional moments hit really hard. But that's what I'm worried about. Guardians 3 to me is a perfect balance. It's my favorite out of the three of them. So I'm hoping for something like that in this movie, that kind of balance. I'm on board 100%. It's so funny. Like, again, with you can't with movies this big with this much conversation around it, you can't win. I mean, you can't. I just saw somebody in the comment section saying, "Are you getting paid to hype this movie?" Well, wait a minute. Go to the meetings. You're missing the meetings. The meeting right now, the latest board meeting is that I hated it and I'm a Snyder bro because I didn't like the humor in it. So that's the latest meeting. So you missed out on the meeting. They say that I don't like the movie. So you're saying I hype it. You got to go to the meeting and you guys have to decide which one it is, because
we can't ask for nuance from the comments. Come on. That's not fair.
It's not. So anyway, so we get this. I love that shot of his his chest, and as he's coming back in, and this. When did we get to see Superman doing that? You know what I mean?
I love this so much.
Love this. This is all I want to see. I don't want to see any more of it. I love the logo of it, and I think that's really. Here we go. So, and this shot of his eyes up on me when he started. The way that they promoted this was really smart. So that's the overall trailer, and I think it worked. I think it did its job for the most part. But I'm assuming from what you're saying here, you love this trailer.
Oh, I do. I love this trailer. They've gotten me in all of them. The teaser, the last one, this one. I've been so on board. And I'm really excited about this. I think everything about it so far has just felt so much like how I feel when I read a Superman story. It invokes all of those emotions of seeking out the best in people and having hope and knowing that somebody is going to do the right thing. And those are the things that I've always loved about reading this character. I know he gets some crap about being a Boy Scout and everything, and I've certainly had moments and issues with that in his characterization before. But I like that this feels like a very humanistic Clark who happens to have superpowers. And those are my favorite kind of stories anyway, when we have that really human element and focus.
We might need a Boy Scout right now.
Honestly, I mean, in this current timeline, love it.
Why not? And the other thing is when we had, because I don't know where you stand on Man of Steel. I like Man of Steel a lot. I like the movie. Okay, I like it. But I also, the Donner movies are my favorite. 1 and 2 are my favorite. I would love to see a different version of that, paying homage to Superman in general. But I couldn't agree more with these people when they're saying we need a new version of Superman. We need a lighthearted Superman. We need a Superman with hope, because we've seen the other stuff. We've seen it before. We've seen the darker version. We've seen the other things. I want to see this version of it. But my biggest concern overall is just tone. And I think that they can nail it. And I've said it a million times over. If you go to my list, it's my number 1 most anticipated movie of the year. I'm pumped for it, but fingers crossed.
My only real concern is the potential of overstuff. You know?
Yes.
We got a lot of super people in here. We got a lot of moving parts. That's the thing I'm hoping. And given James Gunn's track record, I think he's probably struck a really nice balance. But that's the only thing that I'm still a little hesitant on. We've got a lot going on in a first Superman movie. You know.
I agreed. I talked about it actually in the reaction, that one of the things, because they didn't even show Hawkgirl in this, right? And if you did, you saw her for a brief moment. You got to establish the Lois Clark relationship. You have to establish the Superman and Lex Luthor feud. You've got to establish the Daily Planet. You've got to establish all this stuff, and then you have to establish the DCU inside of it. And this movie's only the runtime 203, 204.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot to put into an hour and 22 minutes or whatever it is.
I believe it's the same runtime as Guardians, the first one. And he packed a lot into that one, right? We all got on board with a sentient raccoon real fast.
He did. Yeah, he did.
I've got high hopes.
He did. And I think that this is a movie to me that I'm just going to feel like a little kid again watching it, because Superman has always been my favorite comic book character. It's something that I always remember going to when I saw those movies with my dad as a kid. It was like, I told my dad this recently. Somewhere there was a Father's Day card that I made for my dad that said, "Hey, Superman 3 is coming out. Can we go see it in the theater tonight? Happy Father's Day." And I have it somewhere. I was like 5 or 6 years old. I can't remember how old it was. But either way, that I just, all my early movie memories are Christopher Reeve, Superman, all of it. So I want to see them. I want him to be in the forefront again, and I want him to kind of be the guy. And like, I feel this movie could make him the guy.
That's the hope, right? Because it has felt weird with DC movies the last few years of not having like our big three, if you will, really in the limelight. And Superman not being part of a lot of these movies has just felt odd. And again, I think even if you're not a huge comic book person, everyone knows enough about how the DC comic world works. And Superman is this really iconic character. He's got to be leading the charge. He's got to be in your universe for it to feel like the DC universe. So this movie has a lot to prove.
It's funny because yesterday I was talking about it. There's 2 comic runs. There's World's Finest, which is because James Gunn said there was something that they were doing afterwards. It's not a direct sequel, but he's working on something. And I said Kingdom Come was the other one, because there's another comic called Kingdom Come. And someone was like, "You mean World's Finest?" I was like, "I think I mean Kingdom Come." And they're like, "No, that doesn't exist." And I was like, it does exist. And I looked at it, and it made me feel like it didn't exist. And I looked it up, and Kingdom Come is another one. I don't know if that's going to be, I think that might not, I think World's Finest is probably more realistic, because I think it still takes place with a younger Superman. I think Kingdom Come is an older Superman.
Kingdom Come has a lot happening in that one too. Yeah, that is a big epic, if you will, Avengers level kind of storyline. Right. Stunning art. Oh my gosh.
But he's older in that one, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Someone said that should be the final saga. That makes sense. Totally. Either way, I think that this movie, look, the hype behind this thing, the conversation behind it, whether good or bad, the conversation it's lively, and there has not been a lot of that this year with movies. Like, this is a good sign for the movie, even if you have people going blah, 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 and it's not in a Snow White type of way. It's a way like, this is going to be bad. And it's like, no, it isn't. I'm going to go see it immediately, as opposed to this is going to be bad. It probably is, but I'm not going to talk about it. See you later. That was Snow White. It's like no one went and saw that, but this people are going to go see.
Oh, absolutely. Even if they do think it's going to be a terrible movie, they want to be right about it, which is always so interesting. I want to be right about this movie being bad.
That's a good point.
Or just go and see if you have a fun time. That's maybe a better mentality, y'all.
Yeah, but either way, Warner Brothers will be laughing to the bank at that one. At that
absolutely.
Point. We'll be tracking like 175 or whatever it is potentially. And then the tickets went on sale today. So I'm very curious by the time we get to tomorrow, like what that looks like,
Have you checked out the pre-screens?
No.
There's almost, at least here, so many of them are almost sold out. And I'm trying to go in IMAX, right? And it's all just front rows. I'm just going to be watching Superman like this the whole time.
Yeah. Okay. So I have to like start to look into those screenings soon, because I cannot wait. I just can't wait. I cannot wait to just shove popcorn in my face and then just crossing my fingers. I want this to succeed. I really do. Speaking of comic books and other things. Well, before I even do that, make sure that people know, I need everyone's thoughts on the trailer, on the film itself. Do you think it's going to be good? Do you think it's going to be bad? Do you like a lot of the humor? Do you not like the humor? Put all your thoughts on there, whether it is in the comment section live, whether it's on the replay and the Clips channel. We're around 10,200 subscribers on the Clips channel. Just started it not too long ago, and it's doing fairly well. So thank you guys.
That's great.
Started the Clips channel because we figured take the clips, put them on there. That way people who were complaining about time codes and stuff, they can go over and watch it over there. But you're going to like this, Kris. Check this out for everybody. I've been talking about this for a little bit, but I think people are going to be excited. Check this out. In a world. No, I'm not going to do that, but I'm excited. It's been a while. We've been working on this one. One of our amazing members, patrons, artist extraordinaire, Wicked Art, has been working on this for a long time, and that is the Capes and Cowls comic book. It's here, guys. The whole thing is here. Now, if you are a member or you're a patron, you have access to this, obviously, but there's a little bit more to this now. What we're going to be doing is we are going to go through this entire run, this entire storyline. We're going to get all of the dialogue from everybody involved in it, with myself, Winston, Coy. There's a lot of great cameos and other things in there, and people that you know. And we're going to have some fun with this. We're going to take the voices, we're going to take the sound effects and music and all that, and we're going to put it into one big episode that you guys can watch. Now, patrons and members will get access to it first, but then we're going to make it public. So this is so exciting. And the work that has been put on this by Wicked Art has just been amazing. So as you see the art here, there's so much more. You can access all of this if you go to Patreon or members now, and you can check it out. It's available to all members, all patrons. But it's going to be a fun ride. So just want to let everybody know the Capes and Cowls comic book adaptation is coming, and we'll be excited to bring it to you. So that's the Capes and Cowls comic. How cool is that?
I'm so excited for you. That's rad.
So Wicked Art, he's just such a loyal like fan in general, and just a wonderful human being in general. He was like, "Hey, I want to do a comic book for you," and I was like, "Are you sure?" He's like, "Yeah." And he put together this whole thing. He's been working on it for like over 2 years. And so he finally finished the last issue. They're all available to members and patrons and everything too. But now we're gonna get everybody in there and do some voices. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Oh,
Yeah.
is this like a really big moment of like childhood dream fulfillment though, of being a comic book character?
I think Coy and Winston a little bit more than me for sure. But I like the idea of having the whole crew together, and like from the thing that's gonna be exciting for me is putting on the voices and doing the sound and and this stuff. And like I think that it's gonna be it's gonna be fun to do it that way, because it's the only way. I told you, I as talking to someone who does it for a living, I tried to throw my hat in the voiceover ring, and it's just an impossible world to crack into. So I did the Homer Simpson into the bush. So I'm now going to just do it my way.
Oh yeah, voiceover's weird though too. It's a numbers game. You got to just crank along at it.
Yeah, I know it is, but I have this stuff to do, and it's like
That's true.
I put all the reels and everything together, and I had my friends who were saying, "Oh, great job," like your friends are going to do. And then I get like the agents going, "Well, you need to do this, 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 and this, and this, this, and this, and this, and this. Make sure you do this, 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 and you have to do this, this, and good." But basically, cut 3 minutes out of the 3 minute one reel that whatever it was. And I'm like, bye. I'll do a comic book myself. So yeah. Anyway, that comes out, and I'm excited for people to check it out. We got some more stuff to discuss, and I mentioned it yesterday. And it's brief, but I should bring it up here. And our good friend Katie Sackhoff, who I still do the podcast producing for on her Clips channel, Coley Sackhoff Graham joined the new Carrie series, Mike Flanagan's Carrie TV series at Amazon MGM, and is filling out its cast roster with 14 more names joining the series and reoccurring guest roles, including many regulars of his. Flanagan collaborators like Raul Coley, Katie Sackhoff, Kate Siegel, Michael Trucco, Crystal Baylan, and Daniel Cloud are all set to join the show, which is based on the famed early Stephen King novel. They'll be joined by first-time Flanagan actors like Heather Graham, another Galactica alum like Tamo Penklet, Interview with the Vampire second season star Delaney Hayes, along with Tim Bagley, Mapana Macon, Nika Nusant, Cassandra Naud, and newcomer Rowan Daniel. As previously announced, Summer Howell will play the title role, while Sienna Ogdong, Matthew Lillard. Oh wow, this is a pretty stacked cast. Flanagan serves as writer, executive producer, showrunner, yada yada yada. So, are you looking forward to this series? Forget. Are you you're not a horror person, right?
I'm not a horror person, but I love Carrie. Okay. I really love that book. I really love that movie. And so I am interested in this. And Matthew Lillard, I think, is just tremendous. And I want to see him in more things. So I'm actually excited about this. I just know I'm also going to be really annoying to watch it with, because I get scared so easily.
Matthew Lillard, by the way, is great. And I laugh about it because he came into studio about, I don't know, this has to be 3-4 months ago, but like you watch the beginning of that interview and he's just he, as you know, you've lived in New York, haven't you? I feel like you have you?
No, I just go a lot. No, my mom and I almost always go to New York in December. That's why everyone's always like, well, you know, your mom's from there. I'm like, nah, she's from Boston.
She's from Boston. So, but you know the East Coast well enough. So at the one thing you never do, especially from Long Island, you never drive into the city or drive from the city into the island anytime after 2:00. You will it goes from an hour drive to about a 2.5 hour drive. So he took a car here to get here, and he was supposed to be here like 5. He didn't get here till 6:30 or whatever it was. So he was wonderful, by the way. He was wonderful, but in a Matthew Lillard pissed off kind of way, in a fun way. But he's just like he goes, just roll it, and we started rolling, and we just started the interview, and he's just like, I was in 2.5 hours, and he's going, and it was hilarious, and we had a great conversation for an hour. He's a wonderful, wonderful human being, and I wish him nothing but the best. And he's doing this. He's doing Five Nights at Freddy's. What was the other thing? He got cast in something huge recently. What was that? There's something else that he got cast. Remember what it was?
Off the top of my head.
Someone
help us.
Yeah, the chat will tell us. It was something big. It was something like he was cast in something really big, and I know that he was at one point up. I was Scream again. There you go.
Okay.
Scream.
I thought there was something else too, though.
I think Scream was one of the main
was
the main thing though, because like the big news of him coming back was that one. So that makes a lot of sense. Anyway. So I want to get back into Superman stuff that James Gunn said about post-credit scenes and other things in just a minute. But before we do, make sure that you comment on Carrie. Let me know if you think that you want to see this. Do you think that the cast is a reason why maybe if you weren't interested in the first place, now you will be? Flanagan's doing great stuff. Katie Sackhoff's in it, so there's another big plus. So put your thoughts in there. Let me know. Okay, before we get into the Superman stuff and the credits and all those things, I got to tell you, as I've told you time and time again this week, about Factor and Turtle Beach. Love them both. Tell you about both of them. We'll be right back. Man, summer is here. I'm excited for it. It is time to relax, get some sun, do all the things that make summer really, really special. And the number one thing that you don't want to be doing all summer is spending hours upon hours cooking. This is what I love about Factor. Factor has chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals are ready. They're just 2 minutes, taking the hassle out of eating well. So there's 45 weekly menu options. You can pick gourmet meals that fit your summer games, your goals. Choose from options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. Enjoy more this summer. Get Factor if you want all the flavor and none of the fuss. I've told you since I have been going to the gym, and since I've been trying to focus on health, Factor has been instrumental in helping me do it. I use it, and you should too. So, if you want to get Factor, and you should get Factor, get started at Factor with factormeals.com/Christian50off, but use that code Christian50off to get 50% off, plus free shipping on your first box. That's code Christian50off at factormeals.com/Christian50off for 50% off, plus free shipping. Factormeals.com/Christian50off. Okay, it is great to have Turtle Beach back. And I've been talking about Turtle Beach. You guys have been raving about Turtle Beach, and why wouldn't you? The Stealth 700 headset that I got, it was so great. It just what stood out to me was the sound, man. Like just playing that Indiana Jones game, as I've told you guys, you could just hear every little thing. I love it. And it's just, it locks me in. It's better than the other previous headsets I've had. I don't like being aware that there's other things going on around me. I like being locked into it and hearing every bit of the sound design and just comfortability, to be honest with you. I could wear them for hours. I did. It's almost like they're so comfortable in my head. I was like, oh, I didn't realize I have these things on. I love how precise the audio is. I just feel like I'm so locked into the game when I'm doing it. And it's like that feeling I get when I'm in the theater. I'm just in the world because of the sound. I love sound. You guys know that. The other thing that's great about it is the 80-hour battery. That's crazy. I mean, you don't even feel like you ever have to even charge it. The worst is you're playing something and then it just craps out on you, and you're like, oh no. The Stealth 700, it has the industry's first ever cross-play dual wireless transmitter system. What it means is that you can seamlessly switch between your consoles and your PC with just a click of the button. It gets even better. While being connected to your console, the Stealth 700 can connect with your phone for music streaming or taking calls at the same time. Listen to your favorite songs while gaming, and it's all done with the Stealth 700. And this is the easy part. You head to turtlebeach.com, use that code Kristian for 10% off your entire order. 10% off at turtlebeach.com with the promo code Kristian. But you're going to purchase it, and then they're going to say, hey, where'd you hear about us? You say, our show. You support our show, you tell them that we sent you, and get the ultimate immersive gaming experience with Turtle Beach today. Thank you to Turtle Beach. Thank you to Factor. Very excited to always have them on board, and make sure you check them out. The links are in the description. All right, so we got some more stuff here with Superman. And James Gunn was mentioning about the post-credit scene and some other things, what he learned to do with Marvel, what he learned to not do. And so James Gunn confirms that Superman will have a post-credit scene and what he learned not to do from Marvel itself. Okay, so here it is. This is Superman writer and director James Gunn has confirmed the movie will have a post-credit scene, but admits that mistakes he made while working for Marvel Studios have informed his approach to it. All eyes are on Superman to see how the movie sets the stage for the DCEU's future. Filmmaker James Gunn has confirmed that the Justice League doesn't exist in this world, not yet at least, but we will meet the Justice Gang. With Superman, Woman of Tomorrow, and Lanterns on the horizon, the expectation is that Superman will do something to set the stage for either those or perhaps even the mystery movie Gunn is working on. Talking to Entertainment Weekly, he confirmed that Superman has a post-credit scene. However, it won't necessarily set up anything huge for the future. I have a philosophy about post-credit scenes, Gunn said. It is somewhat related to my own mistakes in my time with Marvel. For example, when Avengers Endgame ended with Thor joining the Guardians of the Galaxy, Gunn put his foot down and said he didn't want the God of Thunder on the team, leaving it to Taika Waititi to have them part ways in Thor: Love and Thunder. I said in the script notes, I'm not going to put him in. I don't want to have Thor in the Guardians. I don't want to do a movie with Thor. Gunn said of how those teases for the future can cause headaches for other filmmakers and projects. I don't understand the character that much. I love watching his movies, and I love Hemsworth as a guy. I don't understand how to write that character. I did not like what I did in Guardians 2, where we set up Adam Warlock and we set up the Guardians of the Galaxy and we set up all this shit that I didn't necessarily plan on. Well, I guess I kind of plan on fulfilling that Warlock promise, but you want to be careful about that. The way a post-credit scene works is a punch to the face, like, oh my God, look at this. At times, when you're using it just solely to set something up, sometimes you're screwing yourself over. It was not easy to work with Adam Warlock in Guardians 3. I love working with Will, and I like dealing with the character, but at the end of the day, he was kind of fitting a weird square peg into a round hole a little bit, yeah. Gunn confirmed, adding that he preferred Guardians of the Galaxy's humorous post-credit scene in introducing Howard the Duck. Despite that, the DC Studios co-CEO is eager for fans to walk away satisfied when those credits finish rolling. I do love giving something back to the audience, so I will try to put something in the end credits for audiences to see because I think it's great. I love my crew, and I want you to stick around and see who the gaffers were. The expectations with post-credit scenes is that they'll set up what's next, and anything that fails to do so is often deemed a disappointment. However, the multiverse saga serves as a good example of why having one eye constantly on the future can go wrong. Marvel Studios has introduced and teased an endless list of characters, many of whom who have yet to return and aren't even factored into the Doomsday plans. I have mixed feelings on this.
Oh, really?
I feel like a lot of it I understand, but I also feel that the reason that the post credits really started to pop and get popular in the first place was for what they said at the end there. Oh, really? What does that mean? What's next? Oh, I can't wait to see the next one. Ants playing drums and stuff, funny, but don't do it for me as far as why I'm sticking around to watch to get to the very end. How do you feel about it?
I'm a little mixed on it just because I personally love the ones like When We Met Howard the Duck. Right. I love that kind of stuff of just, oh my gosh, he does exist in this world. That's fantastic. But what Marvel ended up doing is we have so many of these characters, right? We've got Hercules, we've got Clea, we have a laundry list of people who've been introduced at the end of something and then crickets. We never hear of them ever again. We know nothing about them ever again. And so I feel like that's the fine line you've got to walk. So if you do want to tease a little something, like maybe a hot girl gets know a little bit more about her specifically or something, right? And maybe we do that kind of Justice League Unlimited tease where she's actually here to infiltrate our planet. Oh no. Or we have some other kind of little thread. As long as it's something already set up that they're planning on actually doing and not shoehorning in, then I'm okay with it. But I understand having to navigate that with your whole universe in mind, so you're not promising something and not delivering.
I agree. And the other, like, here's the difference, though, what I would say if I was like getting that quote from James Gunn, right? And I'm like, yes, and I understand all that when you're like, I don't want to do Thor, I don't want to do this, but you're the guy making the decisions right now. You're not, it's like where they're like, hey, we have these plans to put Thor in it and do this, and we need you. And he's like, I don't want to do that because this is that. But you're that guy now. Now I understand maybe you're setting the precedent. I get it. But you're the one that can say, well, you know what? I'm just going to put a little bit of a tease here to say, this is not necessarily what you're getting, but you're going to see this person again. Then I'm all on board with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I think, like I do understand 100% where he's coming from, though. I really do understand like why it's like you get put in these positions where like, oh my God, I got to do that. And everybody's asking it. And I like how because as we were mentioning before, Guardians 3 is my favorite out of the three, but Warlock is not great.
No. And Will Poulter's so good, but
yes, Will Poulter's great, but and you can even see James Gunn kind of subtly throwing Warlock under the bus there, saying no, he was the worst part of the movie. But he even just said what you did. But Will's great. Yeah. And
it's not his fault that he got shoehorned in. He just did.
No, and he got shoehorned in because of that credit scene and everything else too. It's like, oh, I guess we got to put him in there because we teased him to the audience. So I get where that can become kind of a handcuffs type situation. But it is going to be an interesting thing to see how they're going to make this work overall. Very curious. What do you guys make of this? Do you like the fact that they're doing this? Do you like the maybe they should play it a little bit more? Maybe they should connect the stories more. What do you think? Put your thoughts in there and let us know. Speaking of, we just mentioned Marvel, by the way. And so one of the things I want to mention here is I have just too many tabs open, Kris Carr. I have too many tabs open. I think that's my biggest problem. I think
on your browser or in your brain?
Both. But this is a Marvel story I wanted to get into. And Black Widow star Scarlett Johansson reveals why her executive producer credit for Thunderbolts was removed. It was widely reported Scarlett Johansson was served as an executive producer on Thunderbolts, but when the movie was released, her name was absent. Now she explained why the credit was removed. Josh Wilding writes, Scarlett Johansson first played Natasha Romanoff in 2008's Iron Man. The actor bid farewell to the role over a decade later when Black Widow sacrificed herself to help save the universe in Endgame. Spoilers. Despite that, a Black Widow movie set between Captain America Civil War and Avengers Infinity War followed 2 years later. The movie filled in some gaps in Natasha's past and gave the MCU a new Black Widow in Florence Pugh's Yelena Belova. However, it wasn't the origin story many fans had hoped for. As for Johansson, the movie's debut on Disney Plus short-lived premiere access service saw her sue Disney for the box office profits she lost out on. I totally forgot about premiere access. Ultimately, things were made right, and we learned that she would return to the MCU as an executive producer on Thunderbolts. If you waited through the credits for that must-see Avengers Doomsday tease, you might have noticed that Johansson's name was absent. Conversation with Thunderbolt star David Harbour for Interview Magazine, the Jurassic World Rebirth star explained why she requested that her name be taken off the movie. Scarlett said, all right, wait, so today is the release day? Yes, it's opening day of a movie that basically you are the seventh Thunderbolt and your character's all over this movie. Have you seen it? No. Okay, you're an executive producer on it. Congratulations. Johansson said, I asked to have my credit removed because I wasn't involved. You hated the movie that much? No, you're just wanting that to be the case. I think you'd be proud of us. I am proud of you. Many actors would have happily taken the executive producer nod. Still, it's admirable that Johansson did not want a vanity credit for a movie she had no real involvement with. The expectation was that she would have a say in how Black Widow's character was portrayed, but for whatever reason, it didn't happen. Chances are it's down to her being busy, not just with Rebirth, but her directorial debut, Eleanor the Great. It's unclear what the future holds in store for Johansson in the MCU. She's repeatedly said that we won't see her return as Natasha Romanoff in Avengers Doomsday, Secret Wars, but rumors persist that she might be involved with a Blonde Phantom project. Okay, a lot there to go off of. So I guess the first question I would ask is like, I mean, I guess it's admirable in one point. It's like, you take my name off it, I didn't really do anything, sure. But I would ask a follow-up question. Did she get paid for it?
Yeah.
Right. So it's like it's still, I guess it's like, I don't want people thinking I got credit for it when I didn't. So take my name off it, but I'm still getting paid because you guys screwed me last time, and that was the deal we made. I guarantee you she still got paid. And by the way, she should have. But that's probably because she got screwed in that whole scenario when all that went down. So she deserved it. But what do you feel about all this?
Yeah, it feels like an integrity move, and then you remember money. So then it's
Right.
is it as heroic and above board as I think it is. I do appreciate though somebody actually saying, "Hey, I actually did not do anything," and not accepting the vanity plate. I do like that because that's what we see constantly, right? Oh yeah, I'm a producer on this. Oh, so you did all the day-to-day things that a producer has to do? No, I gave them some money, and they gave me money at the end. Like that's usually how this happens.
100%.
But in light of all of her, issues with Disney, the whole lawsuit with Black Widow and everything that happened, I mean, this felt like such a great opportunity of, oh, everyone's getting along. Mom and dad are back together. And the removal of the credit does feel like, oh, is that the only issue? Is it just that you weren't involved? Or is there still a little bad blood?
Is there something else there, right?
Yeah.
Because like David Harbour says, well, you didn't like the movie? Maybe she didn't like the movie. I don't know. It's also possible. I liked the movie. Did you see Thunderbolts?
Oh yeah, I loved it.
I liked it a lot.
I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah. It's so funny though too, because recently someone asked me like my favorite movies are so far this year. Like great movies. I like I said, I really like Thunderbolts a lot. I wouldn't call it a great movie. I think Sinners is the only great movie I've seen so far this year.
Oh, Sinners is a phenomenal film.
Yeah,
that is an S-tier movie.
I think that's the only great movie I've seen so far. Now I've missed a few, so maybe there's other ones that people are saying are pretty good that I haven't seen yet. But yeah, I haven't really. You see anything great?
Mostly, it's been TV.
TV, right?
Like TV's the stuff that's been so great lately, and then movies have been. This was fun.
Which one?
I said most movies have just been. Oh, this is fun.
Oh,
I've had a good time.
There's a movie called Bits. I'm like, I definitely missed out on that. Yeah. No, I'm going to see. What am I going to see next week? Checking out 28 Years Later. I'm checking out Ilio, which I'm interested at, and I had an invite to the F1 screening, but it would have coincided with Ilio, so I'm going to go see F1. I think F1's one of my favorite, like one of my most anticipated of the year.
Oh,
so I can't. The one with Brad Pitt and Joe.
Yeah,
I cannot wait for that movie.
My dad is stoked about that movie. When my dad retired, he took up race car driving.
Really?
He's so cool. My dad's awesome, and so he's so excited about this movie. He loves anything with cars.
It's amazing. So thoughts, everything. Put your thoughts in there. What we just discussed, what we just talked about. Let us know about what you think with the Scarlett Johansson's scenario. I think last story that we'll get into before we get into the questions, and that's this one. This is Dever is now set as the Last of Us Season 3 lead, as people saw. After avoiding answering it directly in recent weeks, it is now publicly confirmed that Caitlin Devers Abby will lead the third season of HBO's The Last of Us. Franchise creator and series co-creator Neil Druckmann confirmed the news at Monday night's FYC panel for the show, whilst discussing the amount of creative freedom HBO gives him and co-creator showrunner Craig Mazin. The second season finale ends with a switch in perspective from Ellie to Abby, who made brief cameos in the second season premiere and finale, but had a decent-sized role in the second episode. Druckmann says, "I can't believe that they let us structure the series in this way, meaning like we just ended season 2 and season 3 is going to be starring Caitlin. I was sure that they wouldn't let us do this when we started adapting this, but they lean into what makes, I believe, the story special and allowed us not only the time, but the creative freedom to be able to take these swings. The perspective switch is in line with The Last of Us Part 2 game, which consists of 4 major sections: a short Jackson set prologue and Seattle Days 1 and 3 from Ellie's perspective, which were translated in the show's second season, Seattle Days 1 3, from Abby's perspective, which will form the basis of season 3, and a short fourth section, which will form the basis of season 4. Whereas the game offered little insight into Abby before the switch, the TV series has been more forthcoming about her motivation for her actions. Like the game, though, we'll also learn much more about her cohorts, Mel, Owen, Nora, and Manny. Druckmann also teased the new season will involve a lot more water than the past two. Much like the second game, the more divisive nature of the story has led to more divisive reaction online for the show's second season than the first, with the backlash some on certain fronts but different on others. The rushed nature of the Seattle segments and the softening of Ellie's descent into the dark side among the game fan complaints. Even so, the season remains one of the most acclaimed on TV this season and is expected to be a serious contender at the Emmys alongside Andor, Severance, The Pit, Slow Horses, The Diplomat, and White Lotus. At last report, a few weeks back, the second season was averaging 37 million viewers per episode and rising, and is still a month away from calculating its total viewers. On Nielsen's top 10 streaming charts, the season is coming in 5th, 3rd, 5th, and 7th for its first 4 episodes thus far, on pair with Andor, though the show was releasing 3 episodes per week to The Last of Us just 1. So just the last part of it should please have people stop tweeting me and telling me that Andor did bad in the ratings this year, but it's like it's on par with Last of Us. Please stop. Did you like Last of Us season 2?
I did. I basically got up to where I played in the games though too.
Okay.
So I already had an idea of what was going to be happening, and I liked how they interpreted that game. Okay. How did you feel about it?
I didn't love it as much. I loved the first season, and I played the first. What I did for the first game was I hadn't played the game, so I would watch it, then I would play the game, get up to the point that I was caught up to, and what I found was, for the most part, the game was pretty true to the show. Now, I've seen a lot of scenes from the second one, and from what I saw is they kind of changed Ellie somewhat dramatically to where her whole mission is revenge in the second one. It's not the TV's character's full thing. She's caught up in a romance and caught up in you know, the pregnancy angle of it. And I did see the scene, and I really liked the scene in the game from what I saw, where she's told about the pregnancy and she gets pissed. She's like upset. She's like, why in the world, when you know what we're trying to accomplish here, would you bring this here? That was missing for me. That element was missing for me. And for some reason, I think it's unfair and bullying what has happened to poor Bella online. But I do, and I don't think it's her fault, but I do think that her character was significantly more annoying in season 2 than she was in 1. And I think Caitlin Devers is a great actress. I hate Abby. I hate her. I don't want to follow her next season. I want to follow her straight into the depths of hell. I don't like her. I'm not going to get on board with her. And I don't care how good of an actress she is. I hate her. I hate what she did because, well, don't you feel bad about what happened to her? Yeah. But I was given a narrative of different characters that I got engaged to, that I was locked into, and this person pissed all over that. I hate her.
Well, yeah, but I'm going to play devil's advocate. I mean, that's every person, right? You are the villain in somebody's story, right? No matter how you feel about your own life and who has wronged you, you are the villain in somebody's story. And I do enjoy that we explore that in a way that isn't just villains or mustache twirling baddies who do bad things because they want to. And that's fun sometimes. There's a time and a place for that. I love just an evil, horrible villain. But when you see people actually justifying the terrible, terrible things they're doing, that is just a really interesting character study. I completely understand people going, no, I don't want to follow the person who murdered my favorite character. That doesn't sound like a fun time to me. I do hope people give it a go, though, because I think it's an exercise one in just radical empathy, potentially, of can I get on board with somebody else after really traveling with this character and walking with them. And that's one of the great things about video games that The Last of Us adaptation has done so well too. When you play a game, you have shared agency. right? What's happening with the character, you are feeling like you're vicariously going through it, and you have this tether. And the show's done such a good job of having those perspectives and having you kind of engage with them. I also understand having Ellie go on this journey this season. Yeah, when you're a 14-year-old making quips, it's a lot more palatable than when you're an adult who's still kind of throwing tantrums or being upset or making bad choices.
Right.
But they're all bad choices that typically make sense. If it's, okay, but if you are fueled by your hate, if you are fueled by this, yeah, most of us would probably do the wrong thing. We'd like to think we'd do the right thing, but we still probably would mess up.
I just think it's
I
different.
think there's potential.
Yeah, I think there's potential. I mean, the actors alone, potential in what they did in season 1. And I just mentioned with Guardians. Guardians 1, I liked. 2, when I saw it, I did not like. 3, liked it a lot. So you can bounce, I mean, in my perspective, you can bounce back from something in the middle not being great, and then the third one could be great if they do it differently. Maybe they do get you on board with her overall. Maybe you do care about her. But I'm going in it going, you got a lot to prove. Like, you got a lot to prove, because I do not like her at all.
Oh, no. And you should not. You absolutely shouldn't. The show did a good job of making you hate her. So now the show just to set themselves up for a very Sisyphean task of, how do I get you to care about her?
Well, that's what you just said, right? Where you were like, I don't disagree with you that it's more fun to have an understanding of why a villain is a villain, right? I don't like that a villain always has to, like the Marvel and Star Wars thing of always turning the villain into a good guy or something. Star Wars more so than Marvel, but like, oh, you know what? A lot of things do this. Oh, they're not really a bad guy. They're just misunderstood. And it's like, no, you can still be a bad guy with reasons that I can understand. You're still a bad guy. But this isn't like Breaking Bad, where I learned Walter White from the beginning to the end. I've learned all the, like, if you started up with Walter White poisoning people and doing all this crap, the crazy shit that he did, like, down the line, I don't know if I get on board with him right away.
Well, if you look at season 1, right, Melanie Linsky's character, we meet her. Melanie Linsky's character, the horrible woman who was like going after children and shit in season 1 and stuff in season 1.
Yeah.
We see her at her worst, being this absolute monster. And then we get a little bit of that backstory. So we understand her, but she is absolutely not redeemable. When she gets got, we're all high-fiving each other. We're like, yeah, it happened. So that's, I think, more so the idea of what we're going to be doing here, at least I hope
so.
How do we understand them, but how do we still go, they still need to get their comeuppance?
Yeah, but she was never the lead of the show, though.
Fair.
Like, that's the thing. You're making her the lead of the show. Like, she's going to be like, this is who we're now following, because the person we all wanted to follow, gone. You're not coming back. The other one has gone through a place where, like, you got to, like you said, you're not 14 years old anymore. Come back from it. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. We shall see. How do you guys feel about this season, the previous season? What do you think about the upcoming season? Put your thoughts in there. What say you? All right, Kris Carr, this is it. This is your first contest. So we're starting up, and you start off pretty good here so far. Even as we're starting the contest, we're at 35. That's pretty good. That is pretty good.
Come on, folks.
So can we get Kris Carr to a win this week? We shall see. So we're going to start right away. And we start with, you're going to see a lot of, as you know, you've been down this dance before. You see a lot of people and names that you know and don't know and start to know. Armada. I saw Wu-Tang and Run the Jewels last night. Oh, I'm jealous. I'm so jealous. How great were they both? Supposedly it is Wu's last tour, and ODB's son was performing for his dad. Great stuff all around. Where did you go? Where was it last night? Was it at, that is, he was telling me he was going to go. Was it at, I'm not sure if they were in New York. Was it Garden last night, or was it somewhere else? That is awesome. Show. That is awesome. I want to see Run the Jewels. Gopal, I saw the initial miniseries for the 2002 He-Man. It's fine so far, but I really missed the theme music from the 80s. That I agree with. As I have time, I'll keep going. The 02 He-Man is the best as far as lore and everything. It's the best. Music-wise, though, I hope they use that for, like, they can find a way to do like a Hans Zimmer-esque version of that theme, which would be amazing. Do you give a crap about the Masters of the Universe?
I only watched Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of something else. Yeah, I really don't know enough about Masters of the Universe.
Okay.
I was like,
Okay.
I watched She-Ra, and I was like, no, that's not right. That's not what we're talking about.
It's related. That's his
Yeah.
sister. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget if we ever talked about this. I know that you and I famously reviewed the trailer of Transformers 1. Did you ever wind up seeing the movie?
I did. Man, we really nailed that, didn't we?
How
We
great
were
was that
so
movie?
right about how that came out.
How great was
It's
that
so
movie?
good. I'm so mad about it. Like,
It's so
it's
good.
really good. And not
It's
even in a way of, oh, this is a great movie for kids. It's such a good movie. I really like
great movie.
it.
It's a great movie. I loved that movie. So I
Yeah.
remember sitting there going, I'm so wrong about this. And then being in
You
the at the
texted me. I was dying. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah,
it can't be that good. And then,
It's
man, have I been eating crow since?
oh my God. It was, and I love situations like that, by the way. I love situations like, in the same way
Oh,
that like I
absolutely.
hope I want to be, I'm make this very clear to people. After I see Superman, I want to sit here and I want to say, look, Cornsweet told a few jokes and they were funny and it worked in the whole thing. It worked. Like Superman, right? It was the rhythm, the tone, everything was perfect. And man, it was so great to see that kind of personality. That's what I'm hoping. Oh, Crypto. Oh my God, they set him up so well. By the time you get to that scene, flawless. I'll be the first person to say it. Doesn't mean I can't have concerns. Yeah. Gregory Dopp. Welcome, Kris Carr again. Superman looks great. A+. People are really hyped. People are hyped. Go Pal. There were several points where in my head I heard the He-Man theme kick in, then felt disappointed when it didn't. I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong. I loved that score. So I hope they use it for sure. CJ, support for Kris. Haven't personally seen much of you before, but looking forward to getting to know you more. Harloff is building his Avengers like Fury. Well, there you go.
Thanks, CJ.
Yeah, I'm excited. Look, Kris and I we talked about it when I was in LA about her trying to do more stuff, and then we just couldn't make it work, and then we just found out that we could make it work. So now, yeah, and I was so happy because Wednesdays were kind of like up in the air. Sometimes I would do a show, sometimes I would kind of mix and match, but then when you were like, I'm available, I was like, let's do it. So
the timing worked out great.
It really did. So, and she'll also be doing, and like people were asking in previous shows if you would be on shows with Roxy and you would be shows with Steph, and of course, yeah, we'll be able to mix match and do all that stuff too. Buster Barnes, so hyped. July can't come quicker. It's right around the corner. Right around the corner. Doug Developer. Kris, I found it hilarious when you said drunk guys would come up to you thinking you were Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Can you share any funny stories? Thanks.
Oh, that's a deep dive. Thanks, Doug. Man, well, because I live in LA, so a lot of times too, people just come up and they'll do the, I love you and Scott Pilgrim. I want you to know that, and I'm gonna buy you a drink because you're so good in it. You go, okay, I'm not bad. I am the Kirkland version of that. I've literally been casting commercials where like, yeah, you're like affordable Mary Elizabeth Winstead. It's like, thank you so much. That's so nice. But yeah, every now and then you'll find the drunkest man in a bar will go, I've seen your movies and I thought you were pretty good in Ahsoka.
That's hilarious.
It's great.
In LA, yeah. Phil Kang, Kris Carr is Lois Lane in our YouTube movie loving community. There you go. What a nice compliment that is.
That's a huge compliment. Oh my gosh, Phil Kang, thank you.
Gregory Dopp. I was half sold on James Gunn Superman. Trailer locked me in though. I bought my Fantastic Four tickets already. Now I'm eager to buy early Superman tickets. Dad is too. So, Kris, what do you think? Which I'm putting all the hosts on the spot with this question too. You got 3 movies, and I've been doing this question with everybody: Jurassic World, Superman, Fantastic Four. The first question: who wins the international box office?
Ooh. Superman.
Interesting. Okay. Second question: who wins overall worldwide?
I still think Soups. I've got high hopes.
So domestic, you would take the same?
Yeah.
I think worldwide and international, it's Jurassic World. I think domestically will be Superman for sure. Now, the fourth question, I guess, is what is the better movie? the best movie, and that's where I think we're going to line up and say I think Superman's going to be the best one.
Superman, probably, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It looks to me the one that I'm the most interested in that movie.
I think that one is. I'm excited about Fantastic Four, but that's one that I have a lot of questions. And I'm such a God. Look at all these things behind me, you guys. I'm such a Marvel girl, and I'm so much more excited about Superman.
I'm so excited about Superman. Fantastic Four hasn't got me yet. It could when I'm in the theater, but like I said, I've been saying this for a while. I think out of the 3 Marvel movies that came out this year, I still think by the time the year is over, Thunderbolts will be the best quality movie. I think Fantastic Four will make the most out of the 3 of them, but that was going to be the best quality. DJ Case just throwing in some support. 43 so far. Kris Carr is only 35 away from tying John Roca on her first one. Jay Anderson, Superman has 3D showings, which explains the teeth. Yeah, but that's my point, right? Is like, are you doing gimmicky stuff because you're shooting it in 3D and other things too? It's like that's the thing. It's like, let's focus on the movie. Don't worry about 3D teeth.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does that make you nervous at all?
No, it does. And again, it's because it's taking me out of the reality that I'm supposed to buy into. So you can do a 3D thing too. Have the teeth whiz by me though. Don't have it clank on the camera lens. That's the part that really took me out of it. I don't want to be reminded that I'm not immersed in that world.
Right. Yeah. Jay also says, I'm not sold on Superman at all, but I have tickets for opening night because I love the movies. How are those trailer comments, Kristian? Oh, the worst. The worst. It's like people, it's like, I did see some good ones. It was like, hey, I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you. I think it looks funny. I think Superman can tell jokes. Great. Not, oh, you ever read a comic before? Hey, you ever read a comic? You know, Superman can tell jokes. You ever read a comic? Ah! It's like, get a life. It's the worst.
I'm going to read every comment in that voice now, and it's going to make things so much better.
I got a comment. Speaking of voices, you've interacted with Big Balls before, right?
Yes, I have.
Okay. I want to make sure because I don't want to throw anything at you if he pops up one of these days.
I think the first time was with Roxy too, and she was just like, "Oh God, no, don't let him out."
Yeah. No, and I think you got along with him, didn't you? Yeah,
yeah, we were fine.
Yeah, he gets along with Steph. He gets along with you. Roxy hates him, so he just tries to talk to her. The other day, he was talking to Kate Mulligan. I had that video somewhere, but he was calling her mamas, and she started laughing. I have the video somewhere. I gotta bring that up. Al Rensha, we see Metropolis open up. Is this a sign that this world is Brainiac, or is it more likely a pocket dimension created by Lex that created questions? That's German to me. What do you think, Kris?
Well, because we do have those weird little moments in there. This movie, though, feels it's so focused on Lex, and then members of the Authority is what we're supposed to be seeing in there, right? So I don't know if we'd introduce Brainiac yet. I don't know if you go with 2 big bads like that.
But isn't Brainiac cast? I thought he was cast. The dude from or is that not Brainiac? Who's the guy from Barry that was cast?
Oh, he's Metamorpho.
Metamorpho. Okay, never mind. So he's not Brainiac. Okay. See? You know more than me. Derek Johnson throwing some support. Thank you, Derek. Look at that. 45. Derek's coming in hot. Derek trying to give you a push here today as we get to 45 with still about 45 minutes left to go. Greg Dopp, Kris, support. My 92-year-old dad read Action 1 and in 1939. I read him in the 80s. I love 80s Reeve films off and on. I think a movie like this lightens. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see, like, that's the other thing is families. I want to see how many families go and check this one out too. Like, is this the new, because families haven't had a Superman movie in a while, you know?
Yeah. I think it's going to be really, really precious seeing families at the theater. And hopefully they'll be, better behaved than the Minecraft kids.
Oh, please. Gopal, the Gunn S is from Kingdom Come though. No, is it? I hope so. And that's what I said. I think that's why I referenced it in the first place.
I was going to say, I'd have to double check the Alex Ross art and look at that.
Yeah, double check. Isaiah Smith. I've been lukewarm on Superman. These last two trailers have made me more interested, and I hope it's great, but I don't know why it isn't clicking for me. Is it World's Finest? Or is that what you're
No,
looking
it looks like it is Kingdom Come.
Oh, Kingdom Come. Sorry,
So.
Okay, well, there you go. So, Isaiah, you mean that is the power of marketing, though, right? It's like you said, the two trailers have made me more interested, but I'm not locked in yet. But you're more interested, and that's all they can try to do. And any movie try to do is try to get you more interested. Don't give away too much, but try to get you more interested. But what do you think about what Isaiah is saying here?
I can understand not being sold on these, especially if this is very different from what you interpret as your version of Superman. It's a very different flavor that we're getting. I'm glad these last two trailers have at least increased the interest, and I like that. I hope it's great. That's all we want. Even when I have not enjoyed any trailer for a movie or any casting news, I still hope that it's going to change my mind once I show up.
Of course, same. I mean, like we just mentioned with Transformers 1. I can't even tell. I cannot stand going to the movies, leaving going, ugh, man. Even if, I much rather go. God, the feeling of thinking something's going to stink and it being great is the best feeling in the world. Or just going in, going, I don't know, and then coming out going, wow, like. This is not a movie that I thought was going to stink. It's a movie because I love Ryan Coogler. But when I went to see Sinners, I'm excited for it because it's Ryan Coogler. I don't know what to expect. Man, I love that feeling of going, oh, I'm so locked into this movie. Like, I want to talk about it more. I want to see it again. I love that kind of feeling, and I hope that that's what we get with a bunch of different movies.
Same. I feel like we've had too many movies where we walk out indifferent, and that is the worst thing I think for you to feel about art of any kind. Of just,
Right.
I want a visceral reaction.
100%. Derek Johnson, I'm holding any opinions until I see the movie. Fair. I do feel like it's so much that this movie is carrying, and I wish it didn't have the weight of a studio, universe, and franchise on its shoulders. But who better to do that than Superman?
Right?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Derek, that's totally fair, Derek.
He follows it up and says, who are your favorite comic book characters?
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I am a huge Spider-Man fan. Love Spider-Man. That's probably my go-to guy. I love Rocket Raccoon. And then weirdly, if you guys have ever read the comic book series Chew, oh my gosh, go check that one out. That's one of my favorites. The detective in that is so interesting. So it is a comic book series in which there is a private detective whose power essentially is he can get the memories from anything he eats. And so he solves a lot of murders, and it's pretty gross.
Sounds fun, though.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Mike Joyce, do you still want to see a Batman Beyond movie?
More than anything in my life.
Yeah.
I want it so badly. I want it to be based on Batman Beyond Neo Year, because that comic run is incredible. I think it'd be so good. Do you have any desire to have these? I really want this.
I want them to figure out Batman first, and because because it's like we still don't even know what's going to happen with Matt Reeves' Batman. We still don't know what's going to happen with Brave and the Bold. This is the problem with announcing things too fast. Is that now and as you were mentioning before, the big three, like we just heard yesterday that Wonder Woman is being worked on. The screenplay is being worked on. I think, and I said this yesterday, and every time I bring Wonder Woman up, I'm going to bring it up. I think Adria Arjona is going to be cast as Wonder Woman. I think she's going to be Wonder Woman. And I think we're going to get her, and we're going to get Wonder Woman before we get Batman. And if we want those three characters to lock up, you've got to release all three of those movies within the course of the next, 3 to 4 years?
Yep.
So if you get the Batman Part 2 in the next 2 years, maybe, right? You're going to coincide. You're just going to coincide. And I don't know how it's going to work. So another Batman Beyond or whatever it is blows my head up because it's too much. Yeah. Derek, will Kris be a recurring guest on Wednesdays? She will indeed.
Yeah.
Yes, she will. Bulldogs 31087. I don't want a lot of comedy either, but if the humor is placed in the right way, I'm okay. Fact is, Forrest sponsors use humor to ease tension. I agree with you. That's what people aren't understanding. I agree with you. I agree with everything that's said. If it is used in the right way, and it's not just thrown in there like Drax telling jokes because, hey, this will be a funny joke for Drax to tell right now, come on, we're in the middle of a serious situation here. it takes away from it. It shifts the tone, as Kris was mentioning before. Ragnarok was a balance, right? Where you have these emotional moments, and then you get a joke. It was heavy on jokes, but it still had a good balance to it. Thor: Love and Thunder was a straight up comedy. It was a comedy, and it changed the tone. And I didn't care about any of the characters because I didn't feel like they were real.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Next one to that, 52. Kris Carr coming in hot on her first show, with still 40 minutes left to play if we need it. So Derek also says, I feel like Gunn's commentary was okay, but there are some things that are unnecessary and may come to bite him in the butt later. Plans change. Sometimes adjustments are needed, and it sucks to be the boss and make those hard decisions. He's talking about with like the post-credit scenes and stuff. What do you think about this?
There's some things that are unnecessary may come to bite him in the butt later. I understand the idea then of it's very easy to say that the way things are run aren't the best way to run them when you're not the person in charge.
Right.
It's very easy for us. The same way that all of us do you know what? And if I was writing a Superman movie, I would make sure he said this. We all have the best screenplay, apparently, that no one's gotten to read, but we know how to fix everything. So I can understand that idea of it's very easy to take a step back and go, I don't think this was executed well. And then when you have to step up to the plate, then you're in the soup, right? And maybe you're going to have to try to figure those things out and figure out that balance yourself and how you set up your next movie. So I don't think it'll necessarily bite him in the butt, but I can understand 2020 lenses are a lot clearer, aren't they, Gunn?
Totally. One of the ways that it definitely won't bite him in the butt if Superman does make $1 billion, right? It won't matter with post credits or not. It's like, okay, well, it still is a success overall. He could wind up going, oh, maybe I shouldn't have put that in there, or maybe I should have done that instead, or oh, we're actually not doing it that way, or maybe we should have done it that way because we want to link this up. But it won't matter if it's makes money, And I think that's ultimately what it's going to be about, because it sucks to be the boss and make hard decisions, especially as they mentioned beforehand with the weight of the whole studio on your shoulders right now, and not just Superman, for James Gunn. So, Jim 1. Imagine if there are 2-year delays between the expected 7 seasons for the Harry Potter series. It will wrap up in 2040, and the kids will be almost 30. It is one of my big concerns with John Lithgow. John Lithgow is like what, 83 years old, 82. My concern. Like, I love John Lithgow, but when he was cast, I was like, you were gonna. God forbid we have the same, thing happen that we had with Richard Harris. God forbid. I mean, I hope John Lithgow's around until he's 150 years old. But I'm just saying, it's like 83 years old. It's a risk.
On a big time commitment, just in general. He's such a great actor that he's locked into this show for years and years and years. If it does well, of course, too.
I mean, 2-year delays. I think because of what we just mentioned, though, and because of the kid's age and everything too, you gotta shoot as much and as fast as you can, and you gotta have a year and 4 months tops of the breaks. A lot of seasons are the next year.
Yeah.
Did you see that? I mentioned this yesterday, because you saw the backlash that poor little girl got for Hermione. You saw that, right?
No, I haven't. No, I've seen some of her Matilda clips though.
Her audition tape for Hermione is like, the second she opens her mouth, you go, oh, that's Hermione. That's it. I'm
gonna have to watch that afterwards.
You have to.
This is the same kind of stuff we saw with The Little Mermaid. You guys, wizards aren't real. Mermaids aren't real. Let anyone be them. It's okay. It's all fantasy and make-believe. Why bring your nonsense into the mix, especially with a kid?
Yeah, leave the kids alone. Murtaranta. Kris, what did you think of the Doctor Who finale / season? Also, should Mr. Iguana be protected at all costs? Stole the show at Worlds Collide.
Oh, Mr. Iguana is the best. I walked into WrestleMania, the party I was going to, right as he was fighting. And the minute he pinned somebody with the iguana puppet, I lost my mind. He should be protected with all our resources. I love him.
You go to WrestleMania?
No. I went to a friend's house here in North Hollywood. We always watch all the wrestling events all together. No, I don't have WrestleMania money. That's
Nobody
insane.
does.
No
Why,
one
that's
does. Yeah.
that's why they're
But
doing it in Vegas.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna just watch the WrestleMania people from a hotel window though
Yeah.
in Vegas, being like, "Good job, have fun, friends."
It's
When
good.
it comes to the Doctor Who finale, you know, at first watching it, and I don't want to spoil anything for anyone in case people haven't seen it, but leading into it, they were making some choices and turns. I went, I don't like this. I don't know what this is. None of this feels earned. And then they flipped the switch, and I went, oh, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. So I mostly loved it in the end. And then the very last reveal, I'm still trying to figure out what the heck we're doing with that. I'm excited, like that actor. Love what's happening, but I'm cautiously optimistic.
I don't think I've seen a single frame of Doctor Who ever in my life.
Whoa, lucky 10,000. Okay,
You know what it is? It's too intimidating. There's just too much
because of the backlog.
Yeah, it's just too much. I wouldn't know where
You
to
can
start.
always jump in with like the Christopher Eccleston stuff, or a lot of people too just jump in with a doctor because you do get backstory every now and then. But it's not something. It's kind of like how I want comic book movies to work. If you know the backstory, you have this really immersive, deep knowledge of something. But for the most part, they're going to fill you in on everything because the Doctor's been around for thousands upon thousands of years.
Yeah.
That he can barely, or they can barely keep up with their own lineage. So why should you, as the viewer, let's review that.
So it's the same person all the way through, even though it's different actors.
Yeah, the whole thing with Time Lords is that they can regenerate. So then they take on a new body, essentially.
I got it. Mike Joyce, what's happening with video game voice actor strike? I don't know. Kris, do you know?
So we've reached a tentative agreement and things should be moving forward with that, which is very exciting. The big thing with the video game actors strike was, of course, AI protections. This was something that I know a lot of shows, including yours, covered during the writers and actors strikes, was, getting that compensation and consent for any kind of digital duplication or usage of images and stuff. In video games, that's such a huge thing because, our voices are digitized. We're fully body scanned. Our faces are tracked. And so a big scary thing with a lot of AI is that we're training our replacements. And so we already have, on top of the strike and on top of the work that SAG-AFTRA and National Association of Voice Actors and everyone have worked towards, we even now are having congressional things pushed forward, the no fakes bill, trying to help with that kind of synthetic persona so that we have less deep fakes and things like that. So we're not only protecting performers, but the work that's been done by these great people through Game Performance Matters and all these other folks, it's leading into helping make sure that you guys don't get duped watching weird news with fake people in it too. So we made a lot of really good strides.
I love that. Okay, well, good. See, Mike, there's your update. What a great update at that. Derek says, who is this Kris Carr? Awesome addition, Kristian. I'll be checking out more on Wednesdays now. Thank you to Kris Carr. We just got Derek coming in on Wednesdays now. I didn't notice he didn't come in on Wednesdays, Derek. You showed your cards. Throwing some support. And Kris Carr is 18 away from tying Roka right now.
Yes.
18 away from tying Roka at 60. So can she take the lead here today? We shall see. Derek throwing in some more support for Kris Carr. And he also says, I got to admit, on The Last of Us, the gamers and the TV watchers both jumped off right after Joel's death. Do you think it was a mistake not to veer from the game story more? Oh, it's a great question. Hindsight, so what Kris was saying before, it's like it's easy to say, yeah, they should have just done it this way, but who knows if they would have done that way and people would have hated that too.
Yeah. I mean, I was shocked that they killed Joel so quickly.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like if you change it too much, then is it even the same story?
True. I mean, especially what they could have done is maybe showed a little bit more time in that 5-year period, maybe written something like 2 years later, have some more adventures with the two of them together, like write something else, with that wasn't based off the game, and done something in the in-between that eventually led us to maybe season 4 being this. And they could have even each year done those 5 years, and then the series finale is what we got like now, because then people I think would be like, oh man, because you lead up to that, so taking him out that quick. Pedro Pascal wouldn't have done it though, because he didn't want to be on the show that long.
It's true. I love that though, because I feel like that's what we missed a lot of in season 2, aside from the flashback, is the tenderness between these two characters, the love there. And instead we just kind of jump into a contentious relationship. It would have been nice to see them in this town and getting to be people for a while.
Episode 6 was fantastic.
So good.
It was just two of them. It was fantastic. And I was like, oh, I wish this was the freaking season, because this was so good. Their chemistry is so good. Their relationship is so good. I buy it. And like you would have that, I guess that's kind of where the idea kind of stemmed from, was that turn that episode into a couple seasons. But nonetheless, didn't happen. A Silva 88, welcome, Kris, longtime fan, and I love your podcast. What's going on with the podcast, Kris?
Oh, well, thanks to your suggestions and stuff too, Amy and I are finally doing video. We've got a YouTube page up. So if you would love to follow us, Two Filthy Casuals is our name. And basically getting into a fandom can be really intimidating because there's so many gatekeepers out there. And what we want to do is we want to help you jump the fence. So we invite somebody on who's a super fan. They talk about their fandom. They don't have to be an expert. They just have to love it. And the whole idea is that we're just having people share why they love a show, getting into the fandom with them, and answering viewer questions. So now we're on YouTube. Now we're on anywhere you get your podcasts. And we have a Patreon if you want to support us too and get bonus podcasts.
Perfect.
Me and Amy Newman.
Go, guys, go and check it out. Armada. Wu-Tang show was in Tampa. Oh, okay. That sounds fun. That sounds fun, man. FX Star-Lord. Kris, loving that crossover. No, not a crossover anymore.
No, now it's legit.
She's on every Wednesday and maybe more. Yep. This is hilarious. Mike's Movie Madness. Are we witnessing the birth of the next crisscross duo? Maybe. Maybe. Indeed. It was so funny is that we hadn't met each other in like it was forever. I think we just kind
you
of
met my husband before you met me.
I did. Yeah. Where did I meet? Was it at CinemaCon?
I think it was at CinemaCon because I was doing that thing of running from Caesars to the hotel to stream in between every single presentation. And Logan just got to like vibe and have a fun time.
I was there. Yeah, I was there for a night for that one. I was when I saw The Flash and something else. But like, I still haven't gone for a full. I almost went this year, CinemaCon, but I had to weigh what made more sense. It makes more sense for me to stay here, cover it, and do that as opposed to going. You know.
Yeah.
But did you go this year?
I did not.
Okay.
It's I love meeting all the exhibitors and everything. It's not my fave. I think I'm not the perfect person to cover that event. I feel there's so many better suited people.
Understood. Go pal. I remember seeing the She-Ra He-Man crossover feature in like the first grade for a classmate's birthday. It was awesome when they did that, but never kept up with its separate lore. I did watch it a little bit too because I was so locked into the He-Man world, but like that's why I like the fact because it was essentially Luke and Leia, the two of them, and you know, with Marlena, the mother being from Earth. Tim, gun style turns me off. Hard to be excited for Soups. It's a fair comment. It's a fair comment. It's like I don't like Michael Bay movies, right? So if Michael Bay gets announced for something, or Len Wiseman. I wasn't excited for Ballerina because I knew Len Wiseman was doing it. I'm like, and the action's real good in Ballerina, but it falls short of having any depth similar to his movie. So I wasn't excited for it. So I can understand Tim's comment here, Kris.
Yeah, absolutely. Jonathan Voitko and I were talking the other day. He's not super into Wes Anderson, especially when Wes Anderson's really hard. Like, I love The French Dispatch. And he was like, I like one of those stories in there. Yeah. Some of it gets a little too weird for me. If you're not into how a director approaches things, it totally makes sense. You're not going to be on board for their movies.
Right. And that's why I love when people address it like that. Armada watched LP from RTJ make a beat by choosing 4 random vinyl records on this YouTube channel called Mass Appeal. Check it out. I will. Favorite RTJ album. I can tell you the one that what is it? I'll tell you. Let me find out where the song is. And I'll tell you what the album is then too, because it's Run the Jewels. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Lie, Cheat, Steal is one of my favorite Run the Jewels. What is that? I don't know what album that is. I have to look at the album. but like that's one of my favorite tracks by them. And I'll do Run the Jewels, and I'll tell you, let's see what album it is if I can find it. Maybe, and I think it's, oh yeah, is that the same one? I don't know which one that is. Is it? I can't tell which album that you know better than I would, but I think it's the one where I don't even know the whole thing. You're gonna have to tell me, but whatever track that was on, because I listened to that whole thing when I was on vacation. I listened to it like on repeat, that whole album. Okay, go pal. I still don't know what Hordak's deal is yet. I don't think anybody else. I wonder if they're gonna bring Hordak in. If this is Masters of the Universe stuff. If this is a successful movie, the first one, the Amazon one, then maybe eventually they'll bring in Hordak. But I can't imagine in any world Hordak shows up. Yeah,
once She-Ra comes to the party, then probably.
Oh, that's right. You know Hordak enough. Yeah,
yeah.
That's
I know the She-Ra stuff, and then the only He-Man things I watched was the Christmas special where they were both in it.
Yes, they were. Paige Chaudhry, Carr in the house. Love you on Can't Be a Show. Kristian, you are awesome for bringing her to the club. Hey, I told her when we worked to each other last time that if she was ever available, we'd love to have her on. So we're excited to have her. Yeah. Oh, this is horrible. First of all, thank you for the donation. I just found out my younger brother has a brain tumor. Oh my, he's 4 years old. Probably just 4 years. He's a good kid. I am so sorry. Oh, that is.
Do you have a GoFundMe or anything set up?
I know. Yeah. Let us know about that. Oh man, I'm very sorry to hear that. I'm very, very sorry. That's terrible news. And I hope your family is doing okay. And that's horrible. I'm so sorry. Oh, brutal. Armada, I forgot that the night Game of Thrones show got moved to 2026. Yeah, it got moved. Did you see that too?
No. Wait, the night got it did?
The one that was supposed to come out at the end of the year, it got moved to 2026.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah. Man, yeah. Aspen, please, if you have like again, as Chris said, GoFundMe or any information or two about your brother, please let me know. Joe for show. Chris is in the house. Do you think someone will say Bruce or Diana in Superman?
There could be like a Bruce Wayne reference.
I think there'll be a Wayne Enterprise, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Something like that. Especially because doesn't Cat Grant cover news in Gotham as well every now and then? Maybe. Yeah. I could be talking out of my butt. I don't know. But I feel like, mentioning the Wayne Foundation or something.
Yeah. Maybe Amazon's will be mentioned at some point.
Potentially, especially since we're having the Themyscira show still.
Right.
So
right. Jay Anderson, F1 has a massive fan base internationally. If the movie is good and has a decent word of mouth, it could be the sleeper hit of the summer, in my opinion. I agree with you. I agree with you, especially with the Top Gun director and Brad Pitt in it. It's funny. I don't watch race car. I don't watch NASCAR. I don't watch any of that stuff. I love race car movies. I love them.
They're fun. They're thrilling.
Rush, Ford versus Ferrari, Days of Thunder. I love them all. I love even Ricky Bobby. I love the race car movies. I love
Talladega Nights is so fun.
Yeah, I love the race car movies. Okay, guys, we're moving along here. Haskell, hey, regarding the teeth hitting the lens, I didn't like it either. But context: if the lens is on a news drone watching the fight, then I'd be okay with it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. No problem. Okay. Connor says my super chat. Okay. This is one of these things. Let me double check. Chris, you might actually have a little bit more because sometimes super chats do this thing for some reason and let me see. They don't list it. So let me just double check while we do this. I'm going to just bring this up real quick and see. Give me a quick moment, guys, and I will double check. All right. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, Super Chat does this really bizarre thing where not Super Chat, but StreamYard, that it doesn't always list everything that has been sent in. So let me see. So super and gifts. Here it is. See all. What time did we start here? Let me get to the bottom of it. Okay. First one. And that is, oh, okay. Mike's Movie Madness. Okay, so we have a few here. Mike's Movie Madness says, here are my Andor Emmy nomination predictions. Best Drama, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor in Stellan Skarsgård and Kyle Solar, to which he follows up. Best Actress, Adria Arjona. Best Supporting Actress, Genevieve O'Reilly and Elizabeth Dulu for Clea. We'll also get a few writing noms, particularly episodes 8, 9, and 10, and directing for episodes 8 and 10. I don't think that is crazy.
No.
Do you?
I feel like they're gonna push for all those people and nab, especially for the ladies. I feel like we're gonna nab maybe one.
I
And
think
honestly,
that
I would push towards Clea or
those are both
Vince.
really, really good. Like those, I can see a scenario where all of that is possible. I really could. Connor Mullis, my super chat didn't get read yesterday, so I'll send it again because it still applies now. I'm eating watermelon right now and it is juicy. Good. I'm glad. I'm also eating Doritos. So crunchy, so savory. Thank you, Connor. I'm glad that's the one you wanted. You were so excited for us to double check. So we got it.
We needed to know.
Yes. Tim says Gunn's humor and style takes me out of his movies. Okay. I mean, again, that's totally fair. Let me see. How many was that? That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was 5 that we had there. So, so now, Kris, you have a total of 77. You are one away from tying Roca. One away.
Oh, dip. Okay.
Tying Roca, and then you'll set the stage for the rest of the week. And our other got Superman tickets today after seeing the trailer. Marketing, baby. That's it. VFX looks a little gummy. The Flash-esque, though. I don't know if it's Flash-esque. But there were a couple times that I saw the CGI, no problem. Hopefully the story and performance carry the film.
I don't feel like it was Flash kind of CGI, but hey, that also might be my inherent bias for disliking the Flash.
Yeah, you do not like that one. But there are some moments though. But that's hilarious, by the way. I just found Connor's super chat from yesterday. It says that it is juicy. So the watermelon again. So I'm glad that who knows?
You get it, bud.
Yeah, I'm glad that they did that. They got they bought the tickets for it to see it. I want to hear people's thoughts. I also want to hear people's thoughts who said, "Look, I went in hesitant." Like someone like Andrew who says, "I went in there, I didn't know what to expect, and I came out liking it, or I didn't like it because of this the humor, whatever it might be." I'm excited to see people's take on it. I really am. Isaiah Smith. What made me like Abby and The Last of Us 2 is the journey she goes through in the second half of the game, not what happened to her in the past. Okay. Would you agree with that, Kris?
I haven't gotten that far. I stopped playing.
That far. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you don't know yet. All right. That's totally fair. Okay. And then Armada says, Woo show at the Garden is July 16th. I hope you go. I have a lot of crap going on this summer. I don't know if I'll be able to make it, but man, I would love to. I would love to. Okay, let's see. Gregory says, Kris and Kristian support. What a delightful conversation. Thank you.
Thank you,
I'm glad.
Gregory.
Looking forward to having more of these delightful conversations on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Joe for show. The division between MCU and DCU fans really bugs me. Why hate someone else for what they enjoy? I couldn't agree with you more. What's wrong with loving Superman and Iron Man? It's not like Red Sox and Yankees. I agree. Sorry about the mini rant. Can't wait for Super Fantastic. Yeah, what is it about that? Why that's always been a thing. I never understood it back when I was covering it with schmoes. I still don't understand it now.
We always love our side to win, which I think is so odd. Because if people are buying comic books, everybody wins.
Yep, I know, and it's like I want the same thing. Is if both Fantastic Four and Superman do well, then that's good for comic book movies again.
Yeah, and it's good for movies as a whole.
Yeah. Paul Hitchcock, Kristian and Kris, it's 2K Wednesday. I'd say add Ken Napzok, but that'd be 3Ks, and historically, that's not. Oh
Lord.
Well said. Miss Stack, support for Kris's first show right now. Kris is at 80. Kris is at 80 right now. So Kris is now in the lead. Only Mike and Steph can catch her now. Winston and Coy. But Winston and Coy have been on fire. Winston and Coy have been doing hundreds. So we got to see if Kris can set the stage. Go, pal.
They're good guys, though. That's
They are.
fine.
But we don't need. But hey, 3 weeks in a row. That I mean, I only think there's been Roxy might have done 3 weeks, but I don't know if that's ever happened before. But they might. They're going to try again. The Harry Potter timeline thing is reminding me they shot all the kids scenes for which one is that? What's
I Met Your Mother?
Thank you. During seasons 1 and 2, so they wouldn't age noticeably. That's they should do that. I feel like they did that a lot. Like if you go back and you watch the first Harry Potter movie, that you can see scenes where Daniel Radcliffe is older. Like he's older. Yeah, and so they got to be careful. They got to shoot as much as they can with these kids now, especially, you know, if you're doing these seasons and you're jumping into season 2, you can't wait that long. The kids age quick. I know.
Yeah. But How I Met Your Mother, they only ever had to do that one couch setup too, you guys. So hopefully they can achieve something like that. But ooh.
Yeah. Alex, beyond excited that Kris has joined the crew. Kris, who in the Bat fam are you hoping will be in the DCU, and what comic would you like to see adapted?
Ooh. Oh man, I'm so basic because I love like Long Halloween, and we've already had variations of that. We basically had No Man's Land, or kind of getting into that more because the end of the Batman. I really want Victor Freeze. I love that character so much. I think he's so interesting and so compelling, particularly how they built off of what they did in the comics with the animated series and those movies, giving us that's how we got all the good Nora stuff and everything ultimately. So I'd really like him in there. And then from the Bat fam themselves, oh man, give me some Stephanie, you know, give me some Red Robin. I love when we go into like Tim being such a good detective. I love that he figures out everything just because he's so wicked smart. So Tim Drake, bring me him.
Someone knows her stuff. Go, pal. It's amazing that the end of How I Met Your Mother didn't get spoiled when it was shot like 7 years before it aired. Is that true?
I think so.
Wow. That's crazy. Was it really? They shot it that far out?
That's wild. At least with the kids.
I love that. I love that they did that. Steph DiGostini. Hey, Kristian. You're lucky, my friend. Kris Carr is my favorite from the Campia show. Now she's on the KH show. Great conversationalists together. Nice. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was funny because I don't remember the first time we ever met in person was you came over to do the show, right?
Yeah. It was just, hey, do you want to do the show this week? And I was like, that'd be a cool way to meet you. Let's go.
That was it. And we did it. And we did quite a few of them for a bit. And then we talked about, because I was trying to do a wrestling thing on my channel, but it's like that didn't work out. So like, we was like, yeah, let's find something. So now we found it. Yeah. Gregory Depp. Yay, Kris. Love for Doctor Who. I'm against AI in art.
I feel like it's a cool tool you can use. I just don't want it to replace any people or, you know, the stuff that makes art great, which is the human experience that you're showcasing.
Mr. I crap and shits. Kristian, did you introduce Kris to Big Balls yet? Yeah, she met him once before. It was a little while ago, so I don't think she's ever seen him though. Have you ever seen him?
I don't think I've seen what he looks like. But also, hi, Mr. I. Oh my God, he's adorable.
Oh, thank you. Aren't I nice?
Oh,
look at this.
You're so sweet. Look at how precious you are.
I'm so nice. I'm the best.
I don't know why people don't like you. We get along great, and you just are cute as a button.
I just died. I'm dead. I'm back. Look at me. I got my balls hanging out. Yep. I'm filthy. Don't put your arm too low. Oh, okay. It's nice to see you again, Miss Carr.
It's so good to see you again, Big Balls.
Thank you. Okay. You cool. But okay. Bye, mamas.
Bye, buddy.
He's got so much to do in that comic book.
Oh no. What's his well, you don't have to reveal anything.
I don't want to reveal it yet, but he's got if you look in the preview that I showed, he's in it. He's got a leather jacket on that says D's nuts on the back. It's hilarious. So let's see. Next one here. Kris Carr getting close now. She's at 87 right now. We did that one. We just showed Big Balls, and then he also follows it up and says support. Thank you very much. Okay. Guys, throwing a lot of love towards Kris Carr today, deservedly so. Kristian should go on Too Filthy for He-Man. Yeah, let's do it.
I would love that. That'd be so fun.
That'd be great. Let's do that. Mike's Movie Madness. Kristian, I think you missed a couple of my suits. I got it. That was, you sent that in, I think, before I read them, but I read those. And then Yoshimitsu, the Kristian Harloff Show is back. Nice. So exciting. Kris is super smart and hilarious. Facts. The Two Filthy Casual Show is awesome.
Oh man, Yoshimito, your check is in the mail. Thank you.
Yeah, you got to send me. You know what you need to do, Kris? You got to send me the link to that YouTube channel. So because I have everybody's links in the description, so I'll just put that as your link.
Oh, awesome! Thank you.
Yeah. Mr. I crap and shits. If anyone's interested in voice acting, hit up Kris about her online classes. Speak, friend, and enter.
Yeah, I have a company with my husband, Speak Friend Studio. So if you go to speakfriendstudio.com, you can sign up for classes with us.
Look at that. See, you're getting a lot of love here today. I love it.
Yeah.
Steph DiGostini, Fandango announced Superman pre-sales are number 1 in 2025. Number 1. Yeah. Yep. I'm telling you, it's going to crush. It's going to crush. There's an excitement to it that I just haven't seen in the movies in a little bit. Asol, what does Kris think of Paul Giamatti as Batman? Oh yeah. Did you know that we found audition tape of Paul Giamatti as Batman?
What?
No, listen.
Motherfucking Batman!
You never saw that clip of him?
Notes.
No notes. Yep, that was it. You'll learn more of the chaos as you get into the cave here. Chris Malik reacts. Have y'all seen the trailer for Weapons? It looks really good. Also, just curious, what's your most anticipated biopic coming out within the next year? Biopic. And they're not doing the Michael one. I mean, well, they are, but they're pushing it back.
But it's pushed, yeah.
Yeah. What biopics are coming out? Say my most anticipated movie that's coming out that's not inside of the big blockbuster. I told you it's the new Luca movie with Andrew Garfield and Julia Roberts. Is the After the Hunt. That's the one I really want to see. But as far as biopics, I guess I got to know which biopics are coming out.
Well, I think we've got Tom Holland doing a Fred Astaire movie at some point. Cool. I just don't know when it's released.
Okay.
And that should be really cool.
That's a good one. You know what, Kris, I'd have to see a list because I don't know the list. But I gotta check that out. And I gotta see which one because I like biopics. Last year would obviously have been Bob Dylan and it paid off. I love that movie. Mr. I crap and shits. Kristian, you let Kris know about Sam's journey through the MCU. I think she'll love Sam, and likewise. Yeah, I do think she would love Sam. So I started. I don't know if you're familiar with this also. You are?
Yeah. I've been seeing the clips and everything.
My friend Sam, who I known from the first grade, she came in to do some reactions for me. So I started with Logan, then Deadpool and Wolverine. And I was like, have you seen any of these? She's like, I haven't seen any. She never saw a single MCU movie. Nothing. So we watched we're right now, we just finished Miss Marvel. Today we're doing Thor Love and Thunder, which God help me. Yeah. But she's been watching all of it. She's never watched Lord of the Rings. She's never watched Star Wars. She's never seen Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Harry Potter. So I'm going to be watching all of those with her eventually.
Oh, that makes me so happy. It's
going to be good. But yeah, her sense of humor is pretty great.
She's fun. She seems so charming.
She's great. C Entertainment 77. Kristian, just curious, but do you own any pets? Yeah. Kris mentioned the book series Chew. Honestly, that would have been perfect sponsor tie-in for the online pet supply store Chewy. Oh yeah, Chewy. I know Chewy.
I love Chewy, but I don't know if they want to be associated with a detective who eats dead flesh to solve murders.
That's true. That's true.
Maybe they do. I don't want to speak for them, but
probably not. Jay Anderson, what non-comic film are you most excited for? I think I just gave it away. For me, the two is big budget is Avatar, and lower budget award stuff is After the Hunt.
Oh yeah.
You got one?
I'm trying to think of what's coming out that's not a comic book movie. I mean, there's not that many comic book movies out there.
Let me see. Upcoming releases, the numbers. There's Black Phone 2, which is I'm also kind of excited for. But it's I'll tell you some of the stuff that's coming out. Once we get really, I'll look at September. The Conjuring, The Last Rites is coming out. That's September 7th or 5th rather. 12th is Spinal Tap 2. Is that true? That's coming out.
What? Oh my God. Then maybe that.
Maybe. September 26th is Gabby's Dollhouse. My little one will be excited for that. October 3rd, The Smashing Machine I'm excited for. That's the one with The Rock as Mark Kerr, the MMA movie, A24. with one of the Safdie brothers doing it. October 10th, Kiss of the Spider-Woman. Tron, Ares is interesting. October 17th is The Black Phone 2. October 24th, Mortal Kombat 2. Let's see.
The Naked Gun remake comes out this year too.
Yes, we're looking forward to that one too. November 7th, Predator
ridiculous.
Badlands. Zootopia 2, Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, let's see. So those are some of the ones that where is that one? And
I'm really excited about How to Train Your Dragon. That looks so cute. So charming.
I saw that. It is if you went into, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going into if you see this movie? Because you like the first one, right? The original?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What do you want to see from the movie? This is actually a great way to I said there's two ways for people that are going in to see this movie. And I think there's one way that I think you'll enjoy it. If you go in another way, I don't think you will. So what do you expect to see from this movie as a remake?
Oh, really all I'm wanting to see is a reimagining of the beautiful dragon shots and interactions.
Then I think you're going to get that. They transfer over. It's the same movie. It is essentially a re-release. But they say, you know what? Instead of animated, it's live action with the same types of dragons. But the last part of it is gorgeous. I mean, it's just gorgeous.
Right.
Then you're going to like it. Roger, good to see you here, Kris. Looking forward to Wednesdays.
Thanks.
Yeah, a lot of great support here. Stephanie Litz. Kris, what hair products do you use? Fellow curly gal.
Oh, Stephanie, I use the Not Your Mother's Curl line to try to help me with my hobbit hair here, because I hit my mid-30s and went, why do I keep drying this? Like, why do I keep blowing this out? What am I doing? I'm just gonna rock a Mick Foley look and love it.
I love that. Mick Foley. Mark Jason Ali. Kris, what voiceover role has been your favorite to do, and what is your dream role? Hey, Kristian, will Kris be on Capes and Cows?
Ooh. Favorite voiceover role. I'm so lucky that I got to do True Noir, Robert Meyer Burnett's project that hopefully is going to be on an actual podcast platform as opposed to just behind a paywall soon. Because I got to work with Michael Rosenbaum and that was so cool and amazing. But also I'm in Marvel Move and I'm Madame Mask. I'm like such a weird deep cut villain in that. And that was so fun because I get to be such a biatch.
That's amazing.
And then dream role would be I really want to be Squirrel Girl or Jeff the Shark.
Look at that. Perfect. As far as Capes and Cows, I mean, make it like if Coy and Winston, one of them maybe aren't on at some point and we need someone to fill in. Yeah, but Wednesdays is going to be Kris's day. She's going to be here. It's like that's where before when I didn't have a spot, if Kris was available to do Capes and Cows and she'd pop in. Now the Wednesday is her spot. So she's going to be here for that. So, but yeah, pop it into other shows.
See Winston last week.
He told me he's ready to the screening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool. Derek throwing some support. We're at 95 right now, Kris. Look at that.
Yes.
Sup, Kris is up in smoke. Simon's Section. Andor is one of the best TV shows. Yes, it is. However, the Star Wars shows are one of the worst. What happened to the Kristian Harloff Minor show? They never made the Harloff Minor show. They should have. You know that I have an actual planet in Star Wars, Kris? In actual canon, one of the authors of Lost Stars made a planet after me. It's called Harloff Minor. It's in canon. I'm surprised Dave Filoni hasn't blown it up yet. Yeah. If there was one, what would it be? On the minor, it would probably be getting blown up by Ahsoka because Filoni would want to blow it up. Kris, don't yuck my yum. Beautiful as always. So that's very nice.
Oh, thanks, Simon.
Mr. I crap and shit. Kristian, you may win Kris over with this answer. Do you want a Batman Beyond live action movie? Yay or nay? If it fits, yes. If it works, sure. And I think Kris would agree too. If it works and they can make it work, yeah.
That's exactly true. I don't want a terrible Batman Beyond movie just to have a Batman Beyond movie.
Right. You want it to work. D2. Yay, Kris, please stay forever. She ain't going anywhere. Steph, throwing some support. A lot of support here. Armada, have you ever confused farts with thunder? No, but I'll make forward. I'll look and say. I love some of those. Some of my favorite questions that come in here. I think it's the difference of what you're going to see on this show.
We have had here where our dog farts on the couch a lot, and we thought our dog was farting when there was a earthquake.
That's hilarious.
So
there you go. Armada, I never read it, but Nemesis comic would be a cool movie. I don't know Nemesis.
I don't know Nemesis either.
I don't know it.
I'm gonna have to Google that.
Zach Roberts, Kristian and Kris, love you both. Can I get a mustard?
Mustard?
Always. Mustard? Don't be silly. Lemon, that's different. Come on, Kris. Welcome to the show.
I really thought you were gonna do the big old mustard. I was not ready. I was not ready for that shift.
No, that's why. It's really mine. It has nothing to do with Kendrick. He stole it from me. Gregory Dopp. Yay, support again. Thank you for a wonderful show. Thank you for being here. As we're winding down here. Chris Malik reacts. Jeremy Allen White is playing Bruce. There you go. You just nailed it. That's the one for me. That's one I'm excited for next year. When do you think we'll get a trailer for Avatar 3? Probably by the end of the summer, maybe even before, before Superman.
Yeah.
To really build it's the same studio.
It would make sense. You're gonna get so many eyes on it too. Just a teaser, yeah. A little papyrus. That's all you need.
I think so. I'm excited for that movie. Jay Anderson, I'm more excited for your Love and Thunder reaction than I am Superman. People are going to be. I have to put on such a performance and not let Sam see that I think that movie stinks. Mr. I Crappen says, Kris, be careful. Harloff may goad you into saying something inappropriate and funny. Just ask Roxy.
I can say things.
Wait,
Cock?
What did you?
That's wonderful.
What did you just run into? All right, let's see. Loads of Rock. Have either of you read the Absolute DC books? No, I am really hoping they use Absolute WWE Design for DCEU Wonder Woman. Also, Kris being here is a big win. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Elusive. But yeah, I haven't read those.
I haven't read them either. But you know, I'm sure that Winston and Coy, we bring those up to us, Elusive, on Friday. I'm sure that they have too. But holy moly, Kris, your first show at 2-1 you tap out at 97. Pretty damn good. 97. Now, can Steph and Mike can they hit that tomorrow? We shall see. Can Winston and Coy?
I hope they do.
Oh, that's very nice.
I hope everyone just keeps going.
Well, we want to see also. We also want to see if, you know, because no one has ever come in on their first show and won the week. So we'll see if you can, we can do it. I lied. You don't have 97. That was a lie. It's 98. Armada could enjoy Love and Thunder more while on gummies. Maybe, I don't have any on me, and I have to go pick her up at the train station in like 2 hours. So, oh well. Well, you're at 98. Maybe we should. 99. 100. You hit 100 actually. There you go. Dancing Dog 60. Are you both looking forward to the Alien on Earth television series? To me, it looks like it could be pretty hot stuff. What say you both? I didn't see the trailer. Did you see the trailer for it?
I have seen the trailer and I have so much anxiety about this show. Okay. I didn't see Romulus because again, I'm not a horror girly. I get very scared very easily. Body horror in particular freaks me out. And I didn't see I saw the Alien movies like in order. I've only seen Prometheus and Alien, but I didn't see Alien until it was at Cinespia like 5 years ago.
Holy moly. Really?
I'm very behind on this, but it just looks so scary. It looks really cool, but it looks really scary.
I really liked Romulus. A lot. Yeah, I liked it a lot. So I'm excited about this show. I haven't watched the trailer, but I'm going to check it out. Actually, yeah, because they're off a little bit because you're at 102 because because of those 5 that didn't get registered. So you are in there. Let's see, there more. There's another one. There's Road to what? Are you already at 100? You're at 100. You're 103 right now. Yep, 103 total. So the Little Yankee. Hashtag double Kris forever. So look at that. What a supportive, what a welcome to Kris Carr here today.
Yeah,
thank you, Kris.
Welcome.
I'm so excited to have you on the show. We're honored to have you. Can't wait to see you next Wednesday. I think one of the people that might be joining us on Wednesdays is Brett Sheridan. Have you guys done a show together?
We have once, yeah.
Okay, one, because he's going to be coming. Oh, they won't let you leave. Simon Section, do you think in that Bruce Springsteen biopic they might show that kissing scene with the sax player? What's up with that? I don't know. Is that with Clarence? I don't know.
The kissing scene with Clarence?
I don't know. I'm not sure what he meant, but I'm not sure. Mr. I Crap and Shits. Kristian, apologize to Coy and Winston. I blew my load, Kris. Sorry. Poor choice of words.
Well,
Well,
There's someone else that would agree with that.
let's see. So, Chris Malick, what do you all think is more likely to happen? Wicked 2 winning Best Picture at Oscars, or winning Best Drama at the Emmys? Ooh, what's more likely? More likely is Wicked 2.
yeah. But man, that season of Andor was incredible.
Great. Both could get nominated.
Mhm.
Both probably will get nominated.
Yeah.
D2 should show Chris the microphone and Sam. I don't know if I have that. I don't think I have it on here. I think I deleted it. Did I? Oh, do you have time? Do you have time? Do you have to run, Chris?
Yeah. No, I'm
All
good.
right. So this is Winston reacting to a moment that happened on one of the reactions. So I'll show you the whole. Where's it going?
Yeah, I want to see where they're taking this and how this is all gonna play out.
How good of an actor is Oscar Isaac?
Oh
though?
my God, he's so good.
He's so good. What's going on with this thing? Oh,
Sorry,
that's all right.
I'm trying. I think I don't want to.
No, it's okay. He's
Okay, I think I love Sam. I think I love Sam. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Hey yo, prom.
Oh my God.
Yo.
I meant hitting my head.
Yo, you bet hitting your head on the
anyway. So that's no,
That's
she's the best.
fantastic.
She's the absolute best. Okay, I think that's everything. Let me just double check here. Showed microphone, Sam. Oh yeah, no, Ask Man. Appreciate your life. It's invaluable. Thank you, Ask Man. I agree. And again, power to you and your family, my friend.
Absolutely.
Okay. So that being said, Chris, thank you for being here. Thank you for again giving us your time, and we'll see you back here next Wednesday. Real quick, where can people find you if they want to come check you out?
Oh man, you can find me on Instagram. It's Kris Carr. You can find my podcast with Amy Newman on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. 2 Filthy Casuals. That's TOW Filthy Casuals. And then you can go to speakfriendstudio.com if you would like to have voiceover lessons, if you would like dialect lessons. My husband handles all those, Logan Peets. Or if you need to have a demo made. That's for people who already have voiceover experience. Don't make a demo without taking acting classes from somebody, you guys. Don't spend your money like that. That's crazy. But our studio is 3 years old this month, so we're doing 30% off of everything. So hit us up.
Please go and do that. Please check out Kris Carr, and please check her out here on Wednesdays. Check out the whole crew. Now, Steph and Mike have to compete with 108 as Kris Carr comes in with a thunderous debut on the show here today on Wednesday. So again, thanks for being here, everybody. Really appreciate it. We'll see you guys on the flip side. Make sure you go to that Clips channel. Please subscribe to that Clips channel. Very important. That's it. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you. And we'll see you on the flip side. Bye.